Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited because today we have a pick-a-pile reading where we're going to be diving into what spirit really wants you to know, like those messages that are just for you right now. So think of this as kind of an in-depth psychic reading to help guide you along your path. I just want to create a safe space for all of us to connect so that we can all receive the messages we need most. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to look at some key themes. And really, spirit has a lot to say, but it's all about figuring out what's most important right now. This reading is timeless, so whenever you're watching this, the message is meant for you. It's okay if you feel drawn to more than one pile, because sometimes, multiple messages can resonate. So let's take a look at our piles. First, we have this beautiful amber sphere, and the theme for this pile is echoes of ancestry, like wisdom carried through time, now calling to be heard. Then, for pile 2, we have this citrine star. Oh, it's so lovely. And the theme here is beacon of resilience, messages safeguarded, ready to empower your inner strength. Next up, for pile 3, we have this moonstone butterfly, and the theme is emerging truths, those subtle whispers transforming into profound understanding. And finally, for pile 4, we have this garnet cluster, and it's all about the tapestry of connection, interwoven destinies revealing a shared spiritual purpose. So, with that being said, go ahead and take a moment and see which crystal you feel most drawn to and which theme resonates with you the most. Trust your intuition, there's no pressure. It's okay to check out multiple piles if you need to. And now, let's take a moment to make a wish, sending all the good vibes to you, and may your intuition guide you perfectly. Hey there, friend, welcome. So you picked the amber sphere, which is all about illumination, bringing light to what's hidden, right? And that totally vibes with our theme today, echoes of ancestry. It's like the wisdom of your family line calling to be heard, like a little whisper that's about to get a whole lot louder. Okay, so let's dive into these cards because wow, they have a lot to say. Okay, first up we have the 5 of Wands. Now this card, it's all about conflict, right? But not necessarily in a bad way. It's more like a clash of egos, a struggle for dominance, a feeling of being pulled in a million different directions. When I see this with the theme of ancestry, I immediately think of family dynamics. Are there old arguments that keep resurfacing? Maybe some unresolved tension between siblings or parents? It could even be patterns that have been passed down through generations, like, a tendency to argue or compete with each other. Like maybe your family has always been super competitive about, like, careers or achievements, and it's created this undercurrent of rivalry that everyone feels but no one really talks about. Or, what else it could be? It could be about conflicting beliefs or values within your family. Like maybe you have some family members who are very traditional and others who are more progressive, and it creates friction. It's like everyone's fighting for their own point of view, but no one's really listening to each other. And, sometimes these conflicts can be really draining, right? Like you just feel exhausted after spending time with certain family members because you're constantly having to defend your choices or your beliefs. But here's the thing about the 5 of Wands. It's not just about the conflict itself, it's also about the potential for growth that comes from it. Because sometimes, these clashes can actually force us to clarify our own values and beliefs. It's like when you're challenged, you're forced to think about why you believe what you believe, and that can actually make you stronger and more self-assured. So maybe this is a time to really examine your family dynamics and see if there are any patterns that are no longer serving you. Are there any old wounds that need to be healed? Are there any conversations that need to be had? It might be uncomfortable, but it could also be incredibly liberating. And you know what else I'm getting? It's like, this conflict might not just be external, it could also be internal. Like, maybe you're struggling with conflicting desires or beliefs within yourself. Maybe you're torn between what you want and what you think you should want. Or maybe you're struggling with self-doubt or insecurity, and it's creating this internal battle within your own mind. I know for me personally, I went through a period where I was constantly battling my own inner critic. It was like, no matter what I did, I always felt like it wasn't good enough. And it was exhausting. It was like I was fighting myself all the time. But eventually, I realized that I needed to learn to accept myself, flaws and all. And that's when things started to shift. So, yeah, the Five of Wands can be a challenging card, but it's also a reminder that conflict can be a catalyst for growth. It's about finding clarity amidst the chaos and learning to stand your ground, even when things get tough. It's about recognizing the patterns that are holding you back and choosing to break free. And it's about finding your own voice, even when everyone else is shouting. Like, don't be afraid to speak your truth, even if it's unpopular. Okay, so that's the Five of Wands. Now let's move on to the next card, which is Judgment. And oh my gosh, this is a huge card, like seriously major. Okay, so Judgment, it's all about awakening, right? It's about being called to something higher, something bigger than yourself. It's about recognizing your true potential and stepping into your destiny. And with the echoes of ancestry theme, this is like, wow, this is about your ancestors calling you forward, urging you to fulfill your purpose. Like they're saying, we've been waiting for you. It's your time to shine. And sometimes this call can come in unexpected ways. It might be a sudden realization, a dream, a synchronicity, or even a crisis. But whatever form it takes, it's a clear sign that you're being asked to step up and embrace your true potential. Like maybe you've been feeling a pull towards something for a while, but you've been ignoring it or dismissing it. Well, Judgment is saying, no more, it's time to listen. This card is also about forgiveness, both of yourself and of others. It's about releasing the past and moving forward with a clean slate. It's like maybe you've been holding on to resentment or guilt, and it's been weighing you down. Well, Judgment is saying, let it go. It's time to forgive and heal. And sometimes forgiving others can be really hard, especially if they've hurt you deeply. But holding on to that anger and resentment only hurts you in the long run. It's like carrying around a heavy weight that's dragging you down. But here's the thing about forgiveness. It's not about condoning what someone did. It's about freeing yourself from the pain and resentment. It's about choosing to move forward and create a better future for yourself. And, sometimes the person you need to forgive the most is yourself. Maybe you've made mistakes in the past that you're still beating yourself up about. Well, Judgment is saying, you're human. Everyone makes mistakes. Learn from them and move on. I remember, years ago, I made a really bad decision that hurt someone I cared about deeply, and I felt so guilty and ashamed. I kept replaying the situation in my head, wishing I could go back and do things differently. But eventually, I realized that I couldn't change the past. All I could do was learn from my mistake and try to be a better person in the future. And that's when I was finally able to forgive myself and move on. So, yeah, Judgment is about awakening, forgiveness, and answering a call. It's about recognizing your true potential and stepping into your destiny. And with the echoes of ancestry theme, it's like your ancestors are cheering you on, urging you to embrace your purpose and fulfill your potential. It's about breaking free from old patterns and creating a new future for yourself. You know what else this could be about? It could be about a karmic cycle coming to an end. Like maybe you've been repeating the same patterns over and over again in your life, and you're finally ready to break free. Or maybe you're being asked to heal some ancestral wounds that have been passed down through generations. It's like you have the opportunity to transform your family line by making different choices than your ancestors did. Think about it. Maybe your family has a history of addiction or abuse or poverty. Well, you have the power to break that cycle by choosing a different path. You can create a new legacy for your family, one that's based on love, healing, and abundance. And that's incredibly powerful. Okay, so that's Judgment. Now let's move on to the final card, which is the High Priestess. And oh my goodness, this card is so mysterious and intuitive and just wow. The High Priestess, she represents intuition, hidden knowledge, and the subconscious mind. She's the gatekeeper to the unseen realms, the wise woman who knows all the secrets. And with the echoes of ancestry theme, this is like tapping into the wisdom of your ancestors, accessing their knowledge and insights. It's like they're guiding you from beyond the veil, helping you to see what's hidden and understand what's truly important. This card is all about trusting your intuition. It's about listening to that inner voice that knows what's best for you, even when everyone else is telling you something different. It's about trusting your gut feelings and following your instincts. And sometimes it can be hard to trust your intuition, especially when it goes against logic or reason. But the High Priestess is saying, trust yourself. You know more than you think you do. I remember one time I had a really strong feeling that I shouldn't take a certain job. It seemed like the perfect opportunity on paper, but something just didn't feel right. And everyone around me was telling me I was crazy for turning it down. But I trusted my intuition, and I'm so glad I did, because it turned out that the company was about to go bankrupt. So, yeah, trusting your intuition can really save you from a lot of heartache. The High Priestess is also about accessing hidden knowledge. It's about delving into the mysteries of the universe and uncovering the secrets that are waiting to be revealed. It's about studying ancient wisdom, exploring spiritual practices, and connecting with your higher self. And with the Echoes of Ancestry theme, this could be about researching your family history, learning about your cultural heritage, and connecting with your ancestors on a spiritual level. Maybe you're drawn to a particular type of spirituality or healing modality that your ancestors practiced. Or maybe you have a natural talent or ability that's been passed down through your family line. The High Priestess is saying, explore these gifts. They're a part of who you are. And sometimes this hidden knowledge can come to you in unexpected ways. It might be a dream, a vision, a synchronicity, or even a conversation with a stranger. But whatever form it takes, it's a sign that you're on the right path. It's like the universe is conspiring to help you uncover your true potential. This card is also about embodying your authentic self. It's about embracing your unique gifts and talents and sharing them with the world. It's about living in alignment with your values and beliefs. And with the Echoes of Ancestry theme, this is about honoring your ancestors by living a life that's true to yourself. It's about carrying on their legacy in a way that's authentic and meaningful to you. Maybe your ancestors were artists or healers or teachers. Well, you can honor them by pursuing your own creative passions, helping others, or sharing your knowledge with the world. It's about finding your own unique way to contribute to the world, while also staying connected to your roots. So yeah, the High Priestess is about intuition, hidden knowledge, and embodying your authentic self. It's about trusting your inner voice, accessing the wisdom of your ancestors, and living a life that's true to who you are. And with the Echoes of Ancestry theme, it's like you're being guided by your ancestors to step into your power and fulfill your destiny. Okay, so after all of that intense energy, the Five of Wands, Judgment, the High Priestess, we pull the Star. Oh my gosh, this is like a breath of fresh air, It's like, after all the conflict and the big awakenings and tapping into all that hidden knowledge, here comes the Star to just soothe your soul. Seriously. So the Star, it's all about hope, right? It's about healing, inspiration, and faith. It's about knowing that even after the darkest night, the sun will rise again. And with the Echoes of Ancestry theme, oh my gosh, this is like your ancestors sending you a message of hope, like they're saying, we've been through tough times too, but we always found our way back to the light, and you will too. It's like they're shining down on you, guiding you towards healing and peace. Okay, so remember that Five of Wands? All that conflict, all that tension, feeling pulled in a million different directions. Well, the Star is like the antidote to all of that. It's like saying, okay, all that fighting is over, it's time to find some peace and harmony. It's like maybe all that conflict, especially with family, has left you feeling drained, right? Like you were talking about, it can be so exhausting having to constantly defend your beliefs or navigate those tricky family dynamics. Well, the Star is a reminder that you deserve peace, you deserve healing, and you deserve to be surrounded by people who support you, who lift you up, not tear you down. Maybe this is a time to actively seek out those people in your life who bring you joy and peace, Maybe it's spending more time with friends who understand you, Or maybe it's joining a group or community where you feel accepted and supported. Or maybe it's just setting some boundaries with those family members who tend to trigger you. You know, like saying, "Hey, I love you, but I need to take a break from this conversation." Or, "I'm not going to engage in this argument anymore." You know, it's about protecting your energy and creating space for healing. And you know what else I'm getting? It's like, this hope isn't just about external things. It's also about finding hope within yourself. It's about believing in your own ability to heal and overcome challenges. Like, maybe you've been feeling down on yourself lately, or maybe you've been doubting your own strength. Well, the star is saying, you are stronger than you think you are. You have the power to create a better future for yourself. Like, seriously, you do. I remember, after I went through that really tough breakup a few years ago, I felt completely lost and hopeless. I didn't think I would ever be happy again. But then one day, I just decided that I wasn't going to let that experience define me. I started focusing on my own healing and growth, and I started doing things that made me happy. And slowly but surely, I started to feel like myself again. And you know what? I ended up being even happier than I was before the breakup. Because I had learned so much about myself, and I had become so much stronger. So yeah, the star is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there's always hope for a brighter future. Okay, so now let's talk about how the star connects to Judgment, that big awakening card. So Judgment was all about being called to something higher, right? It's about recognizing your true potential and stepping into your destiny. And with the star, it's like, now that you've had this awakening, now that you've recognized your potential, it's time to have faith that you can actually achieve it. It's about believing in yourself and trusting that the universe is conspiring to help you succeed. Like maybe you've been feeling a little scared or uncertain about stepping into your purpose, right? Like, it can be intimidating to pursue your dreams, especially if they're big and ambitious. Well, the star is saying, don't be afraid. You've got this. The universe is on your side. It's like, maybe you've been wanting to start your own business, or write a book, or travel the world, but you've been holding yourself back because you're afraid of failure. Well, the star is a sign that it's time to let go of those fears and just go for it. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but it does mean that you have the potential to create something amazing. And you know what else I'm getting? It's like this hope is also about trusting that your ancestors are guiding you on this journey. They've seen your potential, they know what you're capable of, and they're sending you this star as a sign that they believe in you. Like, seriously, they're cheering you on from the other side. I get chills thinking about that, actually. It's like they're whispering in your ear, you can do this. We believe in you. Don't give up. And you know, sometimes it can be really helpful to connect with your ancestors on a spiritual level, especially when you're feeling lost or uncertain. Maybe it's meditating and asking them for guidance, or maybe it's visiting their graves and leaving them flowers. Or maybe it's just looking at old photos and remembering their stories. Whatever it is, it can be a powerful way to tap into their wisdom and feel their support. Okay, so finally, let's talk about how the star connects to the High Priestess, that mysterious and intuitive card. So the High Priestess was all about trusting your intuition, right? It's about listening to that inner voice that knows what's best for you. And with the star, it's like, now that you've tapped into your intuition, it's time to have faith that it will lead you to the right path. It's about trusting your gut feelings and following your instincts, even when they don't make sense logically. Like maybe you've been getting these little nudges or whispers that are guiding you in a certain direction, but you've been ignoring them because you're not sure if you can trust them. Well, the star is saying, trust those feelings. They're coming from a place of deep wisdom and intuition. They're guiding you towards your highest good. It's like maybe you've been feeling drawn to a certain person or opportunity, but you're not sure if it's the right thing for you. Well, the star is a sign that it's worth exploring. It doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, but it does mean that there's something there for you to learn or experience. And you know what else I'm getting? It's like this hope is also about trusting that your ancestors are guiding you through your intuition. They're sending you these intuitive messages to help you make the right choices and avoid potential pitfalls. Like, seriously, they're looking out for you. I remember one time, I had a really strong feeling that I shouldn't go on a certain trip. I couldn't explain it, but I just had this really uneasy feeling in my gut. And everyone was telling me I was crazy for canceling the trip, but I just couldn't shake that feeling. And guess what? The place where I was supposed to go got hit by a major storm. So yeah, trusting your intuition can really save you from a lot of trouble. The star is like a beacon of hope, shining brightly on your path, guiding you towards healing, inspiration, and faith. It's a reminder that even after the darkest night, the sun will rise again. And with the Echoes of Ancestry theme, it's like your ancestors are sending you this star as a sign of their love, support, and guidance. This card is a sign that you are on the right path. There is still work to be done, but you are absolutely making progress. Keep your chin up and keep shining, okay? The ancestors have so much more to share with you, and trust me, we are all excited to see what comes next. Okay, so after all that, wow, what a journey so far, right? We've got one card left, but let's jump into this Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so first things first, the Ace of Pentacles, right? It's all about new beginnings, fresh starts, especially when it comes to, like, the material world, you know? Like money, career, stability, security, all that good stuff. It's like the universe is handing you this little seed of potential and saying, okay, here you go. What are you gonna do with it? You know, it's like a blank check, a clean slate, a chance to build something solid and lasting. So, like, if you've been feeling stuck or stagnant lately, this card is a major sign that things are about to change, like for the better. You know. It's like the universe has heard your prayers, seen your efforts, and is finally rewarding you with this amazing opportunity. And, you know, it might not be something huge or dramatic right away, but it's definitely something that has the potential to grow into something amazing, something really fulfilling and abundant. It's like planting a tiny seed, right? You don't see the whole tree right away, but you know that if you nurture it and care for it, it's gonna blossom into something beautiful and strong. And you know, sometimes these opportunities can come in unexpected ways, right? It might be a new job offer, a new business venture, a new investment opportunity, or even just a new idea that sparks your creativity and passion. But whatever form it takes, it's important to be open to it and to recognize the potential that it holds. Like, don't dismiss it just because it seems small or insignificant at first. Give it a chance to grow and see where it leads you. This is such an exciting card, oh my gosh. Okay, so now let's connect this to our theme, Echoes of Ancestry, because that's where things get really interesting, right? So, like, this Ace of Pentacles, it's not just about you. It's also about your ancestors, about their legacy, about the wisdom and experiences that they've passed down to you. It's like this new opportunity is a way for you to honor your family line, to build something that not only benefits you, but also benefits future generations, you know. Like, maybe your ancestors were entrepreneurs or landowners or artisans, and this Ace of Pentacles is a chance for you to tap into that same spirit of innovation and creativity and build something of your own. Or maybe your ancestors struggled financially or faced a lot of hardship, and this is a chance for you to break free from those patterns and create a more secure and abundant future for yourself and your family. Like, it's almost like they're saying, we went through all that so that you could have this opportunity. Don't waste it. You know, and you know what else I'm getting? It's like this Ace of Pentacles might not just be about money or career. It could also be about your health and well-being. Like, maybe this is a chance for you to adopt a healthier lifestyle, to take care of your body and mind, and to heal any ancestral wounds that might be affecting your health. Like, maybe your family has a history of certain illnesses or conditions, and this is a chance for you to break that cycle by making healthier choices and taking preventative measures. Or maybe you've been neglecting your own self-care lately, and this is a reminder that you deserve to prioritize your well-being and nourish your body and soul. Like, it's about creating a solid foundation for your health so that you can live a long, happy, and fulfilling life. And you know, sometimes these opportunities can come in the form of, like, a new exercise routine, a new diet, a new spiritual practice, or even just a new mindset that helps you to appreciate your body and take care of yourself. But whatever form it takes, it's important to embrace it and to make it a part of your daily life. You know what else is coming to me? It's like maybe this is a chance to invest in a property, like a home or a piece of land, that can be passed down through your family for generations to come. It's like creating a tangible legacy, a place where your family can gather and connect and create memories that will last a lifetime. Or maybe it's about starting a family business that can provide opportunities for your children and grandchildren, a way to keep your family close and connected while also building something of value. This is really powerful. I'm getting chills. Okay, so let's bring it back to those other cards we pulled, because they all connect, right? First, the Five of Wands, all that conflict and tension. So, how does this Ace of Pentacles help with that? Well, maybe this new opportunity is a way to resolve some of those family conflicts, right? Like, maybe it's a chance to create more financial stability for your family, which can ease some of the stress and tension that comes with money worries. Or maybe it's a chance to work together on a project that brings you closer and helps you to understand each other better. You know, like if the Five of Wands represents disagreements about how the family fortune should be spent, the Ace of Pentacles could be a new investment opportunity that everyone can agree on, right? It allows everyone to feel heard, feel respected, and actually work together toward a common goal. It's like finding a way to channel that competitive energy into something productive and positive. It's not about winning or losing, it's about creating something together that benefits everyone. And then we had Judgment, right? That big awakening, that call to something higher. So, how does this Ace of Pentacles fit into that? Well, maybe this new opportunity is part of your soul's purpose, part of the reason why you're here on this earth. It's like the universe is giving you this chance to step into your power and to create something that aligns with your values and your passions. It's not just about making money, it's about making a difference, about using your gifts and talents to make the world a better place. It's like Judgment was the call, and this Ace of Pentacles is the first step on the path to answering that call. It's about taking that leap of faith and trusting that the universe will support you along the way. You know, like it's about saying, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to embrace my true potential and to create a life that's aligned with my soul's purpose. And finally, we had the High Priestess, that intuitive guide, that wise woman who knows all the secrets. So, how does this Ace of Pentacles connect to her? Well, maybe this new opportunity is something that you've been intuitively guided towards, right? Like, maybe you've had this feeling in your gut that this is the right thing for you, even if you can't explain it logically. It's about trusting your intuition and following your inner guidance, even when it goes against what everyone else is telling you. The High Priestess is whispering in your ear, this is the right path, trust yourself, you know what to do. And you know, sometimes that intuition can come from your ancestors, right? It's like they're guiding you from beyond the veil, helping you to make the right choices and avoid potential pitfalls. It's about listening to their wisdom and honoring their guidance. You need to trust your gut. Listen to that little voice inside of you because it will not steer you wrong. The ancestors are guiding you, so listen to their advice. So yeah, the Ace of Pentacles is all about new beginnings, fresh starts, especially in the realm of the material world. It's a chance to build something solid and lasting, to honor your family legacy, and to step into your soul's purpose. And it's a reminder that you have the power to create a better future for yourself and your family. This new opportunity allows you to ground all of that amazing spiritual and emotional work you have been doing and create something real. Okay, so that's the Ace of Pentacles, but we still have one card left to pull, which means there's still more to the story. I wonder what the final piece of the puzzle is gonna be. This is so exciting, I can't wait. I feel like this last card is really going to tie everything together and give you a clear direction of what you should be doing, so get ready. Okay, so after that Ace of Pentacles, this card is the Four of Cups. Okay, so like after all that excitement about a new beginning, the Four of Cups can feel like kind of a letdown, right? Like it's not a bad card, but it's definitely not as like sparkly as the others, you know. So like the Four of Cups, It's all about feeling apathetic, withdrawn, maybe even a little bit bored or uninspired. It's like you're sitting there with all these opportunities being offered to you, but you're just not feeling it, you know. Like you're kind of closed off, maybe even a little bit grumpy. You're not really appreciating what's being offered to you, and you're definitely not actively seeking out new possibilities. It's like you're stuck in this little bubble of indifference, and you just can't be bothered to engage with the world around you. Have you been feeling like that at all? Because that could definitely be what this card is pointing to. And you know, sometimes this can happen when we're feeling overwhelmed, right? Like, maybe you've been through so much lately, with all that conflict from the Five of Wands, and then that huge awakening from Judgment, and then tapping into all that intuition with the High Priestess. It's a lot to process, you know. And then on top of that, you've got the Star telling you to have hope and faith, and the Ace of Pentacles offering you this amazing new opportunity. It's like, maybe you're just feeling burnt out, like you need to take a break and recharge your batteries before you can even think about seizing that new opportunity. It's almost like you're in opportunity overload, if that makes sense. You know. Or you know what else it could be? It could be that this new beginning, this Ace of Pentacles, isn't quite what you expected. Like, maybe you had this idea in your head of what it was going to be like, and now that it's actually here, it's not living up to your expectations. Or maybe it's requiring more effort or sacrifice than you were anticipating. It's like you're looking at this gift that the universe is offering you, but you're seeing all the strings attached, all the work that's gonna be involved, and you're just like, never mind. Does that resonate at all? Because, if so, it's important to recognize that this feeling is temporary, you know? It's okay to feel a little bit disappointed or uninspired sometimes. But it's important not to let that feeling drag you down or prevent you from seizing the amazing opportunities that are coming your way. Okay, so let's connect this to the Echoes of Ancestry theme, because that's where things get really interesting, right? So, like, maybe this Four of Cups is reflecting a pattern that's been passed down through your family line. Like, maybe your ancestors had a tendency to be apathetic or withdrawn, to miss opportunities, because they were too focused on the negative or too afraid to take risks. It's like you're unconsciously repeating that pattern, even though you don't want to. Like maybe your family has a history of, like, settling for less than they deserve, or of being afraid to pursue their dreams because they're afraid of failure. And this is just like a pattern in the DNA, right? And it's repeating itself. And it's not a conscious thing, but like, it's there. Or you know what else it could be? It could be that your ancestors are trying to warn you about something. Like, maybe they see a potential pitfall in this new opportunity, something that you're not seeing because you're too caught up in the excitement of it all. It's like they're trying to nudge you to be more cautious, to look before you leap, to make sure that you're not making a mistake that you'll regret later on. Have you been feeling a little bit too impulsive lately? Because that could definitely be what they're trying to tell you. It's like, okay, we want you to succeed, but we also want you to be smart about it. Don't just jump in without thinking things through. And you know, this can be as simple as doing your research before investing in a new venture, or, you know, getting a second opinion before making a big decision. It's just about being smart and thoughtful, instead of just letting your emotions guide you. You know. And you know, sometimes our ancestors can communicate with us through our intuition, right? So, like, maybe this Four of Cups is actually a message from your High Priestess side, telling you that something is not quite right. It's like your inner voice is trying to tell you something, but you're not listening. Or maybe you're dismissing it as just anxiety or self-doubt, when actually it's a legitimate warning sign. It's so important to listen to those gut feelings, you know. Because they're often based on things that we're not consciously aware of, things that our subconscious mind has picked up on. So, if you're feeling like something is off, don't ignore it. Trust your intuition and dig a little deeper to see what's really going on. And you know, maybe this is also connected to that Five of Wands energy, all that conflict and tension. Like, maybe you're feeling so drained from dealing with all that family drama that you just don't have the energy to pursue this new opportunity. Or maybe you're afraid that this new opportunity is going to create even more conflict within your family, and you just don't want to deal with it. I know, It sounds exhausting just thinking about it, right? Like, oh great, now I have to deal with this on top of everything else. But here's the thing, sometimes we have to face those conflicts head-on in order to create a better future for ourselves and our families. It's not always easy, but it's often necessary. Okay, so let's bring it back to the star, because that card is all about hope and healing. So even though you're feeling apathetic and withdrawn right now, the star is a reminder that those feelings are temporary. It's like saying, okay, you're allowed to feel down for a little while, but don't let it consume you. Remember that there's always hope for a brighter future. And, sometimes the best way to overcome those feelings of apathy is to focus on gratitude, right? To appreciate what you already have in your life, instead of dwelling on what you're lacking. It's about recognizing the blessings that surround you, even when you're feeling down. You need to take a step back and refocus, all right? You have so much to be thankful for, and that is important to acknowledge. Don't take anything in your life for granted, because it can all be gone in an instant. The universe has blessed you with a gift, and you should be thankful. And, sometimes it can be helpful to connect with your ancestors on a spiritual level, to ask them for guidance and support, to remember all the trials and tribulations that they have conquered in their lives. It's like tapping into their strength and resilience, and knowing that you can overcome whatever challenges you're facing. Maybe it's meditating and asking them for guidance, or maybe it's visiting their graves and leaving them flowers. Whatever it is, it can be a powerful way to feel connected to your roots and to find the strength to keep moving forward. The strength is always within you, you just have to find it. So yeah, the Four of Cups is all about feeling apathetic, withdrawn, and maybe even a little bit ungrateful. But it's also a reminder that those feelings are temporary, and that there's always hope for a brighter future. And with the Echoes of Ancestry theme, it's like your ancestors are either warning you about something or reminding you to appreciate what you already have. But you know what? We still have one card left to pull. So this isn't the end of the story. I feel like that last card is really gonna tie everything together and give you a clear direction of what you should be doing. Like, is it telling you to seize that new opportunity, or is it telling you to take a step back and reassess? I honestly have no idea, but I'm so excited to find out. So get ready, because the final piece of the puzzle is about to be revealed. Okay, but what's the deal with this Four of Cups? Seriously, after all of that, after the Star, after the Ace of Pentacles, we get the Four of Cups. It's like the universe is playing a joke on us, oh, here's this amazing opportunity, but you're not gonna want it. Seriously, I'm so confused right now. So okay, the Four of Cups, like we said, it's about apathy, right? It's about feeling uninspired, disconnected, maybe even a little bit bored. It's like you're sitting there with all these amazing things being offered to you, but you're just not interested, Like, you're scrolling through Netflix and nothing looks good, or you're swiping through dating apps and everyone looks boring. It's that kind of feeling, It's like, meh, whatever. And with the Echoes of Ancestry theme, it's like, okay, is this apathy something that you've inherited from your ancestors? Is this a pattern that's been passed down through your family line? Like, maybe your ancestors were always, pessimistic or cynical, always expecting the worst, always seeing the glass half empty. And maybe that's just become ingrained in your DNA, Like, you can't help but see the negative side of things, even when there's so much good in your life. Or, maybe your ancestors were, really cautious and risk-averse, always afraid to step outside of their comfort zone. And maybe that's made you, really hesitant to pursue new opportunities, even when they seem amazing, Like you're always thinking, what if I fail? What if something goes wrong? And it's like that fear is holding you back from living your best life. This is something to dig into a little bit. But okay, let's connect this to those other cards, because that's where things get really interesting, right? So we had the Five of Wands, all that conflict and tension. So maybe this Four of Cups is like a reaction to all that conflict, Like, you're just so exhausted from fighting and arguing that you just don't have the energy to pursue anything new. It's like you're in self-preservation mode, Like, I just need to shut down for a little while and recharge my batteries. And honestly, that's totally understandable, you know? Like, conflict can be so draining, especially when it involves family. It's like you're constantly having to defend yourself, constantly having to navigate those tricky dynamics, and it can just wear you down after a while. So maybe this Four of Cups is just a sign that you need to take a break, to step away from all that drama, and to focus on your own well-being for a little while. Seriously, you need to take care of yourself. And then we had Judgment, that big awakening, that call to something higher. So maybe this Four of Cups is like a fear of stepping into your true potential, you know? Like, you're afraid of what might happen if you actually embrace your destiny. Like, what if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if you disappoint people? It's like that fear is holding you back from answering the call, from stepping into your power. And honestly, that's a really common fear, you know? Like, it can be really scary to step outside of your comfort zone and to pursue something that's bigger than yourself. But here's the thing. You're stronger than you think you are, and you're more capable than you think you are. You have the power to create an amazing life for yourself, but you have to be willing to take that leap of faith. And that's why it's so important to connect with your intuition, to listen to that inner voice that knows what's best for you. Which brings us to the High Priestess, right? That intuitive guide, that wise woman who knows all the secrets. So maybe this Four of Cups is like a sign that you're not listening to your intuition, you know? Like, you're ignoring those little nudges and whispers that are guiding you in a certain direction. You might be second-guessing yourself, doubting your own inner wisdom. And that's a really easy trap to fall into, you know? Like, it's so easy to get caught up in the opinions of others, to let other people tell you what to do. But here's the thing. You know yourself better than anyone else, and you have the power to make your own decisions. So trust your intuition, listen to your inner voice, and don't let anyone else tell you what's right for you. Your inner voice knows always. And then we had the star, that beacon of hope, that reminder that even after the darkest night, the sun will rise again. So maybe this Four of Cups is like a test of your faith, you know? Like, the universe is throwing you a curveball, seeing if you'll give up on your dreams. Are you going to lose hope because things are hard? It's like a dark night of the soul. I feel like this Four of Cups is actually a message that things are always going to get hard, and you have to have the resilience to push through it. That's what the star wants to remind you of. And finally, we had the Ace of Pentacles, that new beginning, that opportunity to build something solid and lasting. So maybe this Four of Cups is like a sign that you're not ready to embrace that new beginning, you know? You're still clinging to the past, still stuck in your old ways of thinking. You need to let go of what's holding you back so that you can fully embrace the opportunities that are coming your way. So, what can you do about it? How can you break through this apathy and embrace the opportunities that are being offered to you? Well, first of all, it's important to acknowledge your feelings, you know. Don't try to push them away or pretend that they're not there. It's okay to feel apathetic sometimes. It's okay to feel uninspired. It's okay to feel like you just want to curl up in a ball and hide from the world. The important thing is not to let those feelings consume you, not to let them define you. Second, try to identify the root cause of your apathy, you know? What's really going on underneath the surface? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling burnt out? Are you feeling afraid? Once you know what's causing your apathy, you can start to address it. Third, take some time for yourself, you know. Do something that makes you happy, something that nourishes your soul. Take a bath, read a book, listen to music, go for a walk in nature. Do whatever it takes to recharge your batteries and reconnect with your inner self. Fourth, connect with your ancestors, you know? Ask them for guidance and support. Remember that they're always there for you, even if you can't see them. They want you to succeed, and they're sending you love and light from beyond the veil. And fifth, trust your intuition, you know? Listen to that inner voice that knows what's best for you. Don't let anyone else tell you what to do. You are the master of your own destiny, and you have the power to create an amazing life for yourself. But okay, we're not done yet. We still have one more card to pull, and I have a feeling that it's going to be really important. Is the next card going to confirm this is a warning to slow down? Or will it encourage you to fight through the apathy and embrace the opportunities? I am on the edge of my seat here. Okay, let's do it. Okay, friend, are you ready for this? Because after everything we've been through in this reading, it all comes down to this final card. Like, we've had the family drama, the big wake-up call, the ancestral guidance, the hope, the new beginning, and then, bam, apathy. It's like the universe is saying, okay, you've got all this potential, but are you gonna use it? So seriously, what's it gonna be? And the final card is strength. Okay, wow, I love this. I really, really love this, especially after that Four of Cups. Okay, so strength, it's not about physical power, right? It's about inner strength, courage, compassion, and resilience. It's about taming your inner beast, overcoming your fears, and finding the strength to face whatever challenges come your way. It's about knowing that you are capable, you are strong, and you have the power to overcome anything. Like, seriously, anything. And with this reading, oh my gosh, this is so perfect. This is saying that you have the strength within you to overcome that apathy, to break free from that cycle of indifference, and to seize the opportunities that are being offered to you. You might not feel like it right now, right? You might be feeling tired, uninspired, and just plain blah. But strength is a reminder that you have a wellspring of inner power that you can tap into whenever you need it. So, how does this strength card connect to that Four of Cups? Well, the Four of Cups is all about feeling disconnected, right? It's about feeling like nothing is exciting, nothing is inspiring, nothing is worth your effort. But strength is saying that you have the power to change that. You have the power to reignite your passion, to reconnect with your purpose, and to find joy in the everyday moments. It's about choosing to see the good in the world, even when it's hard, even when you're feeling down. It's about choosing to be grateful for what you have, instead of focusing on what you lack. It's about choosing to take action, even when you don't feel like it. You know, like, sometimes the strongest thing you can do is just get out of bed, take a shower, and face the day, even when you don't want to. And that's okay. That's a victory. It's not about, like, forcing yourself to be happy or energetic all the time. It's about being kind to yourself, about acknowledging your feelings, and about taking small steps forward, even when you're feeling overwhelmed. And trust me, those small steps add up. They really do. It's about that self-compassion, understanding your limits, but also knowing the deep well of resilience you possess. Tap into that. And with the Echoes of Ancestry theme, oh my gosh, this is so powerful. This strength isn't just your own, it's also the strength of your ancestors. It's the strength that they passed down to you through their genes, through their stories, through their struggles and triumphs. They faced challenges that you can't even imagine, and they survived. They persevered. And they passed that strength on to you. So when you're feeling weak, when you're feeling like you can't go on, remember your ancestors. Remember their stories. Remember their struggles. And know that you are not alone. You have a whole army of ancestors cheering you on from the other side, sending you their love, their support, and their strength. It's about tapping into that ancestral wisdom, that ancestral power, and knowing that you are a part of something bigger than yourself. And like, seriously, how cool is that? It's like having a superpower, you know? Like, you can call on your ancestors whenever you need them, and they'll be there for you. Just thinking about that is giving me goosebumps. You have literally inherited all of their power. Use it. Okay, so let's connect this strength card to the other cards we pulled, because that's where things get really interesting. So, we had the Five of Wands, all that conflict and tension. Well, strength is saying that you have the power to resolve those conflicts, to find peace and harmony within your family. It's not about being a doormat. It's about being assertive, about setting boundaries, and about communicating your needs in a clear and respectful way. It's about standing up for yourself, even when it's hard, even when you're afraid. Because honestly, sometimes the strongest thing you can do is to walk away from a toxic situation, to protect your energy, and to prioritize your own well-being. And that's okay. You deserve to be surrounded by people who love you, support you, and lift you up, not tear you down. And then we had judgment, that big awakening, that call to something higher. Strength is saying that you have the courage to answer that call, to step into your true potential, and to live your life with purpose and passion. It might be scary, it might be challenging, but you are ready. You have the strength within you to overcome any obstacles that stand in your way. It's about believing in yourself, even when you doubt yourself, and about trusting that the universe is conspiring to help you succeed. Listen to those dreams. Act on them. They are real, and you are meant for amazing things. And then we had the High Priestess, that intuitive guide, that wise woman who knows all the secrets. Strength is saying that you need to trust your intuition, to listen to that inner voice that knows what's best for you. It's about connecting with your inner wisdom, about honoring your feelings, and about making decisions that are aligned with your values and your beliefs. It's about knowing that you have all the answers within you. You just need to learn how to listen. Tap into that ancestral wisdom, that inner guidance, and let it lead you on your path. And then we had the star, that beacon of hope, that reminder that even after the darkest night, the sun will rise again. Strength is saying that you need to have faith, to believe that things will get better, even when they seem hopeless. It's about holding on to that glimmer of hope, even when it's hard, and about knowing that you have the power to create a brighter future for yourself. Keep shining your light, even when it's dim, and know that you are making a difference in the world. And then we had the Ace of Pentacles, that new beginning, that opportunity to build something solid and lasting. Strength is saying that you have the determination to seize that opportunity, to work hard, and to create a life of abundance and security. It's not about being greedy or materialistic. It's about providing for yourself and your loved ones, and about creating a legacy that will last for generations to come. It's about using your gifts and talents to make a positive impact on the world, and about creating a life that is both fulfilling and meaningful. So what are the practical steps you can take to harness this strength and overcome that Four of Cups energy? First, practice self-care. Take time for yourself to recharge your batteries, to nourish your body and mind, and to reconnect with your inner self. Second, connect with your ancestors. Learn about their stories, honor their struggles, and tap into their strength and wisdom. Third, trust your intuition. Listen to that inner voice that knows what's best for you, and make decisions that are aligned with your values and beliefs. Fourth, set boundaries. Protect your energy and surround yourself with people who love you, support you, and lift you up. Fifth, take action. Don't let apathy paralyze you. Take small steps forward, even when you don't feel like it, and trust that those steps will lead you to where you need to be. You got this. Remember that amber sphere you chose? It's illuminating your path, bringing light to the strength you already possess. Your ancestors chose you for this journey, and they are with you every step of the way. This strength card is a direct message. You are ready. Okay, my friend, that's it. That's the reading. And wow, what a journey it's been, right? I really hope this helped and that you feel empowered and inspired to step into your strength and create an amazing life for yourself. Remember, you are not alone. You are loved, and you are capable of anything. Go out there and shine your light. Hey there, you chose the Citrine star. This crystal is all about protection, so know that whatever comes up in this reading, it's meant to help you and you're totally supported. Plus, our theme is Beacon of Resilience. Messages safeguarded, ready to empower your inner strength, so get ready to feel like a total rock star. Okay, so let's dive into these cards. Ooh, this is interesting. We've got the Devil, the Fool, and the Three of Wands. Okay, so, right off the bat, this feels like a huge journey. Let's start with the Devil. So, the Devil card, it's often misunderstood. People freak out when they see it, but it's not necessarily about, being evil or anything. It's more about recognizing where you might be feeling trapped or restricted. And it's about the illusions that keep you stuck. So, think about areas in your life where you feel, chained down. Maybe it's a job that's sucking your soul dry, or a relationship that's just not working, or even just, negative thought patterns that keep looping in your head. Those things that you just can't seem to shake. Those are the Devil's chains. And the thing about these chains is that they're often self-imposed, you might think you're stuck because of external circumstances, but really, it's your own beliefs and fears that are holding you back. So, for example, you might stay in that soul-sucking job because you're afraid you won't find anything better, Or you might stay in that toxic relationship because you're afraid of being alone. See, it's the fear that's the real prison. And that's where Citrine's star and that protective energy comes in, right? Because sometimes seeing those chains, those self-imposed limitations, that can be scary. Now, sometimes the devil can also represent like an addiction or a really unhealthy attachment, something that you know is bad for you, but you just can't seem to let go of. It could be a substance, a person, a behavior. Anything that you're using to numb yourself or to avoid dealing with your problems. But remember, it's all about resilience here. So like, the first step is always awareness, right? You have to recognize that you're wearing these chains before you can break free from them. And that's where this card is like, shining a light on those areas where you're feeling stuck and asking you to take a good, hard look at what's really going on. What are you afraid of? What beliefs are holding you back? And are those beliefs even true? Cause, like a lot of times, we just accept these limiting beliefs without questioning them. We tell ourselves, oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not worthy of love. But where did those beliefs come from? Are they based on, like, actual evidence, or are they just stories that we've been telling ourselves for years? And you know what else the devil card can represent? It can be about, like, repressed desires or shadow aspects of yourself that you're trying to ignore. Those parts of yourself that you don't want to admit are there, like, maybe you have a really strong desire for power or control, or maybe you have a dark side that you're afraid to acknowledge. But the thing is, those parts of yourself aren't going to just disappear if you ignore them. They're going to keep popping up in sneaky ways, and they can actually end up controlling you if you don't bring them into the light. So the devil is like, hey, it's okay to have these desires and these shadow aspects. It's part of being human, but you need to acknowledge them and integrate them into your whole self instead of trying to suppress them. It's like, own your power, even the parts that scare you. You know, and I feel like with the Citrine star here, it's also about protecting yourself from, like, external influences that might be trying to control you. There might be people or situations in your life that are trying to manipulate you or take advantage of you. And the devil card is like, be aware of these influences and don't let them get a hold of you. Set your boundaries and stand your ground. Remember, you have the power to choose your own path. You are resilient. So basically, the devil card is about recognizing where you're feeling trapped, identifying the illusions that are keeping you stuck, and reclaiming your power. It's about breaking free from those self-imposed chains and owning all parts of yourself, even the dark ones. It's a tough card, but it's also a really powerful one because it can lead to massive transformation. But here's where it gets interesting, because then we have the Fool. Okay, so after the devil, the Fool comes in, and it's like, okay, you've recognized the chains. Now it's time to leap. The Fool is all about new beginnings, taking risks, and stepping into the unknown with, like, total trust and optimism. He's the ultimate free spirit, ready to embark on any adventure, no matter how crazy it might seem. You know, the Fool is often depicted as this, like, carefree guy walking off a cliff, totally oblivious to the danger. But that's not really the point. The point is that he's not afraid to take a chance. He trusts that everything's going to be okay, even if he can't see what's ahead. And that's the kind of energy that you need right now, especially after dealing with the devil's energy. So, like, after you've recognized those chains and those limitations, it's time to, like, throw caution to the wind and just go for it. This could mean quitting that soul-sucking job, ending that toxic relationship, or finally pursuing that dream that you've been putting off for years. Whatever it is, it's something that feels really scary and uncertain, but also really exciting and liberating. That's that beacon of resilience, right there, glowing. And the Fool is also about embracing your naivete and your innocence. It's about letting go of your need to control everything and just allowing yourself to be guided by your intuition. It's about trusting that the universe has your back, even when things don't make sense. You know, like, maybe you don't have all the answers right now, and maybe you don't know exactly where you're going, but that's okay. The Fool doesn't have a plan. He just trusts that he'll figure it out along the way. And that's the beauty of it, right? It's about the journey, not the destination. But here's the thing, the Fool isn't just about being reckless and impulsive. It's also about being open to new experiences and new perspectives. It's about being willing to learn and grow, even if it means making mistakes along the way. 'Cause, like, mistakes are just part of the process, right? They're how we learn and how we evolve. So don't be afraid to stumble and fall. Just get back up and keep going. The Citrine star wants you to know you're protected even if you fall. And you know, with the devil and the Fool together, it's like you're breaking free from those old patterns and those old limitations, and you're stepping into this brand new chapter of your life. But you're not just running away from something, you're also running towards something. You're running towards your true self, your authentic self, the person that you're really meant to be. So, like, what does that look like for you? What are your dreams and your passions? What makes you feel alive and excited? Those are the things that you should be pursuing right now. Those are the things that are going to lead you on this incredible adventure. And with the protection from the Citrine star, you can trust that you're going to be okay. But here's a word of caution. The Fool can also be a little bit irresponsible sometimes. So, it's important to balance that sense of freedom and optimism with a little bit of groundedness and practicality. Don't just quit your job without having any savings, and don't just run off to a foreign country without doing any research. You know, use your common sense and be smart about your choices. But don't let fear hold you back from taking those risks that are really calling to you. It's a delicate balance, but you can do it. Okay, so, like, the Fool is about embracing new beginnings, taking risks, and trusting the universe. It's about letting go of your fears and stepping into the unknown with courage and optimism. It's about pursuing your dreams and living your life to the fullest. And it's about remembering that mistakes are just part of the journey. But what happens after that first leap of faith? That's where the Three of Wands comes in. The Three of Wands is all about expansion, progress, and looking towards the future. It's about building on the foundation that you've already created and expanding your horizons. So after you've taken that leap of faith with the Fool, the Three of Wands is like, okay, now it's time to start building something real. You're not just wandering aimlessly anymore. You're starting to see the potential for long-term success and fulfillment. And that beacon of resilience is really starting to shine now, right? You know, the Three of Wands often shows a figure standing on a cliff, looking out at the ocean, with three wands planted firmly in the ground. This represents, like, a sense of stability and security, but also a desire to explore new possibilities. You've already established a solid foundation, and now you're ready to expand your reach and connect with the wider world. So, like, this could mean starting a new business, launching a new project, or expanding your social circle. It could also mean traveling to new places, learning new skills, or simply broadening your perspective. Whatever it is, it's about stepping outside of your comfort zone and embracing new challenges. And, the Three of Wands is also about collaboration and partnership. It's about recognizing that you can't do everything on your own, and that you need to connect with other people who share your vision. This could mean working with a mentor, hearing a team, or simply joining a community of like-minded individuals. It's about building relationships that support your growth and help you achieve your goals. But, like, here's the thing. The Three of Wands isn't just about taking action and making things happen. It's also about being patient and trusting the process. Things might not happen overnight, and you might face some obstacles along the way, but it's important to stay focused on your goals and to keep moving forward, one step at a time. It's about having faith that everything is unfolding in perfect timing. That Citrine star is there to remind you of that protection, that divine timing. And you know, with the devil, the Fool, and the Three of Wands together, it's like you're breaking free from those old limitations. You're taking a leap of faith into the unknown, and you're building a new future for yourself. It's a really powerful combination, and it suggests that you're on the verge of something really amazing. You're really building that resilience. So, like, what does this look like in your life? What are you ready to expand and grow? What new possibilities are you excited to explore? And who are you ready to collaborate with to make your dreams a reality? Those are the questions that you should be asking yourself right now. But, here's a word of caution. the Three of Wands can also be a little bit overconfident sometimes. So, it's important to stay grounded and to not get too carried away with your own success. Remember to stay humble and to always be grateful for the opportunities that come your way. And don't forget to give back to others and to use your success to make a positive impact on the world. Okay, so, the Three of Wands is about expansion, progress, and looking towards the future. It's about building on your foundation, expanding your horizons, and collaborating with others to achieve your goals. It's about being patient, trusting the process, and staying grounded. It's like you're on the verge of something really amazing. You've got this amazing resilience waiting to burst out, this beacon, and the Citrine star is protecting you every step of the way. And that's just the beginning. Okay, so after all that, we pull Justice. Oh wow, this is, really interesting in the context of everything else. Okay, so Justice, at its core, is about fairness, balance, and truth. It's about seeing things as they really are without any kind of, rose-colored glasses or wishful thinking. It's about taking responsibility for your actions and understanding that there are consequences for everything we do. And, it's also about, aligning yourself with what's right and just, even if it's not always the easiest thing to do. So, think about situations in your life where you're trying to make a decision, and you're torn between what you want to do and what you know you should do. That's where Justice comes in. It's asking you to weigh the pros and cons, to consider the impact of your choices on yourself and others, and to make a decision that's fair and equitable. And sometimes justice can also be about legal matters or, formal agreements. It could be about signing a contract, settling a dispute, or going to court. But even in those situations, it's still about fairness and balance. It's about ensuring that everyone is treated equally and that the outcome is just. And I feel with the Citrine star here, it's also about protecting yourself from unfair treatment or injustice. Sometimes people might try to take advantage of you or to manipulate you, and justice is stand your ground and fight for what's right. Don't let anyone walk all over you. You deserve to be treated with respect and fairness. And you have the power to create that in your life. And what else justice can represent? It can be about, finding balance in your own life. It could be about balancing your work and your personal life, or balancing your needs with the needs of others, or balancing your desires with your responsibilities. It's about creating a sense of harmony and equilibrium in all areas of your life. Because, when things are out of balance, it can lead to stress, anxiety, and unhappiness. So, justice is take a look at where you're feeling out of balance and make some adjustments. What do you need to let go of? What do you need to add in? How can you create more harmony in your life? And it's with this beacon of resilience theme, justice is saying that even when things feel unfair or unbalanced, you have the inner strength to navigate those challenges and to create a more just and equitable outcome. It's not always easy to stand up for what's right, especially when you're facing opposition or adversity. But you have the power to make a difference. You have the power to create a more just and compassionate world, starting with your own life. Okay, so justice is about fairness, balance, truth, responsibility, and alignment. It's about seeing things as they really are, making decisions that are fair and equitable, and standing up for what's right. It's about finding balance in your own life and creating a sense of harmony and equilibrium. And it's about remembering that you have the inner strength to navigate challenges and to create a more just and compassionate world. But okay, here's where it gets really interesting because we had the devil before this. I mean, the devil and justice together. Whoa. So the devil, as we said, is about those chains, those self-imposed limitations, those illusions that keep you stuck. And justice is shining a light on those chains and saying, okay, is this fair? Is this balanced? Is this right? Are you being fair to yourself by staying in this situation? Are you being fair to others? Are you living in alignment with your truth? And it's the devil can often represent situations where there's an imbalance of power. Someone is taking advantage of you, or you're taking advantage of someone else. And justice is saying, okay, that's not okay. we need to restore balance here. We need to make sure that everyone is being treated fairly and with respect. And with the devil, it can also be about addiction or unhealthy attachments. And justice is like, okay, is this addiction serving you? Is it bringing balance to your life? Or is it actually causing more harm than good? And a lot of times, the answer is pretty clear, right? If you're addicted to something, it's probably not bringing balance to your life. It's probably causing a lot of pain and suffering. So justice is like, okay, it's time to break free from this addiction and to restore balance to your life. It's time to take responsibility for your actions and to make a change. And I feel like with the Citrine star, this is about protecting yourself from those negative influences that might be contributing to your addiction or unhealthy attachments. There might be people or situations in your life that are triggering you or enabling you. And justice is like, okay, you need to set some boundaries here. You need to protect yourself from these influences and create a safe space for yourself to heal and to recover. And you know what else is interesting? The fool comes right after the devil and before justice, right? So you break free of the chains and then take a leap. But justice is saying that even when you're taking those risks and stepping into the unknown, you still need to be mindful of your actions and their consequences. You can't just go around doing whatever you want without considering the impact on yourself and others. You need to be responsible and accountable for your choices. It's like the fool is all about freedom and spontaneity, but justice is like, okay, let's not get too carried away here. Let's make sure we're still acting with integrity and fairness. Are you being reckless with your finances? Are you being inconsiderate of other people's feelings? Are you making decisions that are going to come back to bite you later? Justice is like, think before you act, consider the consequences, and make sure you're living in alignment with your values. Okay, so the devil, the fool, and justice together are a really powerful combination. It's about breaking free from limitations, taking risks, but also being responsible, accountable, and fair. It's about aligning yourself with your truth and living in integrity. Okay, so let's dig into this whole fairness and balance thing a little more, because I feel like that's really important here. So, justice is not just about, abstract concepts of right and wrong. It's about how those concepts play out in your daily life. It's about how you treat yourself, how you treat others, and how you interact with the world around you. And I feel like with the Citrine star, this is about protecting yourself from feeling like you always have to be the one who's giving, and never receiving. Sometimes we can get into these patterns where we're always putting other people's needs before our own, and we end up feeling drained and resentful. And justice is like, okay, that's not fair. You deserve to receive as much as you give. You need to create some balance in your relationships and make sure that your needs are being met as well. And it's the same with, your work life, right? Are you working too hard and not taking enough time for yourself? Are you being fairly compensated for your efforts? Are you being recognized for your contributions? Justice is like, okay, you need to advocate for yourself and make sure that you're being treated fairly in the workplace. You deserve to be valued and appreciated for what you do. And sometimes fairness and balance can also be about setting boundaries. Are you letting people take advantage of you? Are you saying yes to things that you really don't want to do? Are you allowing people to disrespect you or to treat you poorly? Justice is like, okay, it's time to set some boundaries and to protect your energy. You need to learn to say no to things that don't serve you and to create some space for yourself. And you know what else? Sometimes fairness and balance is about forgiving yourself and others. Are you holding on to resentment or anger? Are you judging yourself or others harshly? Justice is like, okay, it's time to let go of those negative emotions and to forgive yourself and others for any mistakes that have been made. Because holding on to resentment and anger only hurts you in the end. It's like you're drinking poison and expecting the other person to die, right? So it's time to release those emotions and to move on with your life. Forgiveness is not about condoning bad behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the burden of anger and resentment. It's about creating space for healing and growth. Okay, so let's talk about karma and consequences, because that's a big part of justice too, right? So karma is basically the idea that what you put out into the world comes back to you. It's like the law of cause and effect. Every action has a reaction. And justice is like the cosmic accountant that keeps track of all your good deeds and your bad deeds. And eventually, you're going to have to pay the price for your actions, whether it's in this lifetime or in another lifetime. But here's the thing, karma is not just about punishment. It's also about learning and growth. It's about understanding the consequences of your actions and making different choices in the future. And I feel like with the Citrine star and this beacon of resilience theme, this is about knowing that even when you're facing the consequences of your actions, you have the inner strength to learn from your mistakes and to create a better future for yourself. You know, like everyone makes mistakes. Everyone does things that they regret. But it's not about dwelling on those mistakes. It's about learning from them and moving forward. It's about taking responsibility for your actions and making amends if necessary. And it's about forgiving yourself and others for any harm that has been done. And, you know, sometimes the consequences of our actions are immediate and obvious. Like, if you steal something, you might get arrested. But sometimes the consequences are more subtle and long-term. Like, if you're constantly putting yourself down, you might develop low self-esteem. Or if you're constantly lying to people, you might lose their trust. And justice is like, be aware of the long-term consequences of your actions and make choices that are going to benefit you in the long run. And you know what else? Sometimes karma can be about inherited patterns or ancestral trauma. Like, you might be carrying around baggage from your family history that's affecting your life in negative ways. And justice is like, okay, it's time to break free from those patterns and to heal that trauma. You don't have to repeat the mistakes of your ancestors. You have the power to create a different future for yourself and for your descendants. You know, this is heavy stuff, but it's like, are you ready for it? You've got the Citrine star protecting you, the beacon is shining bright. But what's next? Okay, wow, so after all that talk about karma and consequences, we get the moon. Oh my gosh, this is getting so interesting, like layers upon layers. Okay, so the moon, you know, it's like the card of intuition, dreams, and the subconscious. It's all about what's hidden beneath the surface, those things that we can't quite see or understand. It's about mystery, illusion, and the unknown. You know, it's not always a bad card, but it's definitely like a call to pay attention to your intuition and to trust your gut feelings, even if things don't make sense logically. And the thing about the moon is that it often represents like a time of uncertainty or confusion. You might be feeling lost or disoriented, like you're walking through a fog and you can't quite see where you're going. And that's okay. The moon is saying that it's okay to not have all the answers right now. It's okay to feel confused. It's okay to trust that you'll figure things out along the way, you know. It's about having faith in your own inner guidance, even when you can't see the path ahead. But the moon can also represent like repressed emotions or unresolved issues that are lurking in your subconscious. These are the things that you've been trying to ignore or push down, but they're still there, bubbling beneath the surface, influencing your thoughts and feelings. So the moon is like, hey, it's time to bring these things into the light. It's time to confront your fears and to heal your wounds. It's about facing your shadow self, those parts of yourself that you don't want to admit are there. And like, that can be scary, right? But it's also really liberating. Because once you acknowledge those shadow aspects, you can start to integrate them into your whole self and to become a more complete and authentic person. And you know what else the moon can represent? It can be about, like, deception or illusion. It could be that someone is not being honest with you, or that you're not being honest with yourself. It could be that you're seeing things through a distorted lens, and you're not really seeing things as they are. So, the moon is like, be careful who you trust. Don't believe everything you see, and be honest with yourself about what's really going on. It's about cutting through the illusions and seeing the truth, even if it's painful. And I feel like, with the Citrine star here, it's about protecting yourself from being deceived or manipulated by others. You know, there might be people in your life who are trying to take advantage of you or to control you. And the moon is like, be aware of their tactics and don't let them get away with it. Trust your intuition and set some boundaries. Okay, so the moon is about intuition, dreams, the subconscious, mystery, illusion, and the unknown. It's about trusting your gut feelings, facing your fears, and seeing the truth, even when it's hidden. It's about protecting yourself from deception and manipulation. But oh my gosh, with the devil, the fool, and justice already in the mix, this is wild. Okay, so remember the devil. All those chains and limitations. Well, the moon is like, are those chains even real? Or are they just an illusion? You know, the devil can make you believe that you're trapped and powerless, but the moon is saying that maybe you're not as stuck as you think you are. Maybe there's a way out that you haven't seen yet. Maybe you're just being deceived by your own fears and limiting beliefs. And the moon can also highlight those hidden desires that the devil tries to keep in the dark. It's like, are you really being honest with yourself about what you want? Or are you suppressing your desires because you're afraid of what other people will think? The moon is saying that it's okay to want what you want. It's okay to embrace your desires as long as you're not hurting yourself or others. You know, it's about finding a healthy way to express your desires and to live in alignment with your truth. And then we have the fool, right? That leap of faith into the unknown. Well, the moon is like, hold on a second. Are you sure you know where you're going? Or are you just blindly jumping into something without thinking it through? You know, the fool is all about optimism and trust, but the moon is saying that it's important to also be aware of the potential risks and dangers. It's about balancing that sense of adventure with a little bit of caution and common sense. And the moon can also be a warning against impulsivity. It's like, don't make any rash decisions right now. Don't do anything that you might regret later. Take some time to reflect and to listen to your intuition before you take any action. You know, it's about being mindful and present in the moment, instead of just rushing headfirst into something without thinking. And justice? Oh man, the moon and justice together. That's like, okay, let's dig even deeper here. Justice is all about fairness and balance, but the moon is saying that sometimes things aren't always as they seem. There might be hidden factors or subconscious influences that are affecting the situation. So justice is like, okay, we need to look beyond the surface and to see what's really going on here. We need to uncover any hidden agendas or biases that might be influencing the outcome. And the moon can also highlight those areas where you're not being honest with yourself or with others. It's like, are you really being fair and just in your dealings? Or are you trying to deceive someone or to get away with something? The moon is saying that eventually the truth will come out. So it's better to be honest and transparent from the beginning. You know, it's about acting with integrity and living in alignment with your values, even when it's difficult. And I feel like, with the Citrine star and this beacon of resilience theme, the moon is saying that even when you're facing uncertainty and confusion, you have the inner strength to navigate those challenges and to find your way. You know, it's okay to feel lost or disoriented sometimes. It's part of the human experience, but you don't have to stay lost forever. You have the power to tap into your intuition, to face your fears, and to see the truth. And as you do that, you'll start to find your way back to yourself and to your own inner light. That Citrine star is there to protect you as you journey through the darkness, to help you trust yourself. And that beacon of resilience is really about learning to trust your intuition, to believe in your ability to overcome any obstacle. It's about knowing that you're not alone and that you have the support of the universe. Okay, so the moon is like adding this whole new layer of depth and complexity to the reading. It's about questioning everything, trusting your intuition, and facing your fears. And with the devil, the fool, and justice all in the mix, it's like you're on this incredible journey of self-discovery and transformation. You're breaking free from limitations, taking risks, being responsible, and uncovering hidden truths. But okay, what's the final piece of this puzzle? What's the last message that Spirit wants you to know? What card comes next? It's like we're about to find out what's really been hiding in the shadows. Okay, deep breath. After all that, the card we get is The Page of Swords. Whoa, okay, that's interesting. It's like after all that heavy stuff, we get this burst of intellectual energy. This feels like a really important message trying to come through, but maybe it's not quite fully formed yet, you know? Like a thought that's just starting to bubble up. So the Page of Swords, like right off the bat, this card is about new ideas, new ways of communicating, and kind of being like super alert and observant. But pages can also sometimes represent like anxiety and overthinking because they're still learning how to wield their sword, right? So like they can get a little carried away. And with everything we've seen so far, especially with the moon and all that hidden stuff, this could be a really significant piece of the puzzle. Okay, so let's dive a little deeper into what this Page of Swords could mean for you. It's like the Page of Swords is always like scanning the horizon, right? They're looking for new information, new perspectives, new ways of understanding the world. This could mean that you're about to receive some really important news or insights that could change everything. But it could also mean that you need to be more proactive in seeking out that information. Like maybe you need to do some research, talk to some experts, or just start paying closer attention to what's going on around you. Because the truth is out there, you know, but you have to be willing to look for it. And this card is all about communication, right? So it could also mean that you need to express yourself more clearly and effectively. Maybe you've been holding back your thoughts and feelings, or maybe you've been struggling to articulate what you really want to say. The Page of Swords is like, okay, it's time to find your voice and to speak your truth. But it's also important to be mindful of how you're communicating, because swords can be sharp, right? And words can be even sharper. So you need to be careful not to say things that you'll regret later. Like, think before you speak, and try to communicate with compassion and understanding, even when you're disagreeing with someone. I feel like you're on the verge of a breakthrough in some area of your life. It's like whatever that situation with justice, the page is coming in to bring the final message, the last piece you need to complete the puzzle. And, you know, with the moon being right before this card, it feels like there's something that's been hidden, right? And the Page of Swords is here to, like, cut through the fog and reveal the truth. But here's the thing, the truth might not be what you expect it to be. It might be something that's uncomfortable or even painful to face. But it's important to remember that the truth will set you free, even if it hurts at first. It's like the Page of Swords is encouraging you to be brave and to face whatever challenges come your way. You have the strength and the intelligence to handle anything that life throws at you. It's really shining that beacon of resilience. And think about what areas of your life this could be popping up in, you know? Like, maybe this is about your career. Are you feeling stuck in a job that's not fulfilling you? The Page of Swords could be a sign that it's time to start exploring new opportunities, to network with new people, or to develop new skills. Or maybe this is about your relationships. Are you struggling to communicate with your partner or your family members? The Page of Swords could be encouraging you to have those difficult conversations, to express your needs and desires, and to listen with an open heart to what others have to say. Or maybe this is about your own personal growth. Are you feeling lost or confused about your purpose in life? The Page of Swords could be a sign that it's time to start exploring your interests, to learn new things, and to connect with your inner wisdom. Because that citrine star is there to protect you while you find that next step. But here's the thing about the Page of Swords, it's not always easy, right? Because, as I said, this card can also represent anxiety and overthinking. So, like, you might find yourself getting caught up in your head, worrying about all the things that could go wrong, or obsessing over every little detail. And that can be really paralyzing. So, it's important to find ways to manage your anxiety and to stay grounded in the present moment. Maybe you need to practice mindfulness, meditate, or just take some deep breaths. Or maybe you need to talk to a therapist or a counselor who can help you process your thoughts and feelings. The key is to not let your anxiety control you. You are the one in charge of your own mind. And it all comes back to protecting that energy with our crystal, right? Okay, so how does this Page of Swords, like, totally change the dynamic between the devil and the fool? I mean, we had the devil with those limitations, right? And the fool is just like, okay, let's just jump. But now we have the Page of Swords coming in, and it's like, wait a second, let's think about this. Does this mean that you shouldn't take that leap of faith? Absolutely not. But it does mean that you need to be a little bit more strategic and informed about your choices. It's like the Fool is all about trusting the universe, and the Page of Swords is all about using your intelligence. And those two things can actually work really well together. It's like you can trust that everything is going to be okay, but you can also do your homework and make sure that you're making the best possible decisions for yourself. I really feel like this Page of Swords card is here to help you make sure that you are making the right choice to get out of the devil's influence. Like, maybe the devil is telling you that you're stuck in this dead-end job because you're not qualified for anything else. But the Page of Swords is like, okay, let's research some new skills and certifications that could make you more marketable. Let's network with people in your industry and see what opportunities are out there. Or maybe the devil is telling you that you're stuck in this toxic relationship because you're afraid of being alone. But the Page of Swords is like, okay, let's read some books about healthy relationships, talk to a therapist, and start building a support system of friends and family who can help you feel more confident and secure. You know, because it's like, the Page of Swords is all about empowering yourself with knowledge and information. It's about taking control of your own destiny and not letting fear hold you back. And okay, so this is where it gets really interesting, because the Page of Swords can also represent, like, doubt and hesitation, right? And with the Fool being all about optimism and trust, it's like the Page of Swords could be creating some inner conflict. You might be feeling torn between your desire to take a risk and your fear of failure. And that's totally normal. It's okay to have doubts. It's okay to feel scared. But you can't let those doubts and fears paralyze you. You need to find a way to balance that sense of caution with your desire to take action. And what about justice? How does the Page of Swords interact with that energy of fairness and balance? I mean, justice is all about seeing things clearly, right? And the Page of Swords is all about gathering information. So it's like the Page of Swords can help you to see situations more objectively and to make more informed decisions. But it can also create more confusion and conflict if you're not careful. Like maybe you're trying to resolve a dispute with someone, and the Page of Swords is encouraging you to gather all the facts and to hear both sides of the story. But what if the facts are conflicting? What if both sides are claiming to be right? How do you know who to believe? This is where it's important to trust your intuition, to listen to your gut feelings, and to use your own inner compass to guide you. Okay, so this all comes back to what that citrine star is offering, right? That protection. Like, that protection isn't just some abstract idea. It's about having the inner strength and resilience to face whatever challenges come your way. And the Page of Swords is all about empowering you with the tools and the knowledge that you need to navigate those challenges successfully. It's like this beacon of resilience that we talked about isn't just some external force. It's something that you cultivate within yourself. It's about believing in your own ability to overcome any obstacle and to create a life that's filled with joy, purpose, and meaning. It's trusting in yourself. It's knowing that you're not alone and that you have the support of the universe. Okay, so we're almost there. With the devil, the fool, justice, and now the Page of Swords, this is truly a wild and complex reading, right? So, what's the next card going to be? What final insight are we going to uncover? I'm seriously so excited to find out. Okay, so the Page of Swords, right? It's like, after all that heavy soul-searching and all those twists and turns, this card is kind of like a breath of fresh air, a spark of inspiration. It feels like it's saying, okay, enough thinking. Time to put those ideas into action. But it's not just about blindly rushing forward like the fool might do, right? It's about being smart, being informed, and being strategic. So, like, the Page of Swords, they're all about, like, gathering information, right? They're reading books, they're talking to people, they're just trying to learn as much as they can. But it's not just about accumulating knowledge for the sake of it. It's about using that knowledge to make better decisions and to create a better life for yourself and for others. The Citrine star wants you to use this information to make the right choice. This could mean finally, like, researching that career change you've been dreaming about, or it could be about taking a class to learn a new skill that you've always wanted to learn. Or maybe it's just about, like, reading the news and staying informed about what's going on in the world so that you can be a more engaged and responsible citizen. And you know what else the Page of Swords is good at? Communicating. I mean, they're all about expressing their ideas and sharing their knowledge with others. But again, it's not just about talking for the sake of talking. It's about using your words to inspire, to motivate, and to connect with people on a deeper level. It's about helping to elevate, okay? The sword is double-edged, right? So be very precise. Like, maybe you need to have a serious conversation with your partner about something that's been bothering you. Or maybe you need to give a presentation at work and you're feeling nervous about it. Or maybe you just want to write a blog post or a social media update to share your thoughts and feelings with the world. Whatever it is, the Page of Swords is encouraging you to find your voice and to use it to make a positive impact, but also to use it to stand your ground and fight for what's yours. But here's the thing, the Page of Swords can also be a little bit scattered, They can get so caught up in gathering information and expressing their ideas that they forget to, like, actually focus on what's important. They can also overthink things, they can get anxious, and they can get so caught up in the details that they lose sight of the big picture. So, it's important to balance that intellectual energy with a little bit of groundedness and practicality. It's about knowing when to stop researching and start taking action. It's about knowing when to stop talking and start listening. And it's about knowing when to just let go and trust your intuition. And that's that moon energy. The Citrine star wants you to trust yourself to know that balance. And that's where the moon comes in, right? Because the moon is all about intuition and the subconscious, those hidden depths that we can't always access with our conscious minds. So, like, the Page of Swords is all about gathering information, but the moon is about knowing what to do with that information, even if you don't know why. It's like, the Page of Swords is all about logic and reason, but the moon is all about feeling and sensing. And those two things can actually be really powerful when they're combined, because they allow you to make decisions that are both smart and intuitive. Like, maybe you're trying to decide whether to take a new job. The Page of Swords can help you to research the company, to learn about the salary and benefits, and to understand the job responsibilities. But the moon can help you to sense whether the job is a good fit for you, whether you'll be happy there, and whether it aligns with your values. Or maybe you're trying to decide whether to end a relationship. The Page of Swords can help you to analyze the pros and cons, to identify the problems, and to understand your partner's perspective. But the moon can help you to feel whether the relationship is truly over, whether there's still hope for reconciliation, and whether you're being true to yourself. The sword can cut, but also analyze the situation, right? It's powerful. And that brings us back to the devil, right? Because the devil is all about those limitations and those illusions that keep us stuck. So, like, the Page of Swords can help you to identify those limitations and to see through those illusions. It can help you to understand what's really holding you back and what you need to do to break free. But it's not just about, like, intellectually understanding those limitations. It's about actually taking action to overcome them. And that's where the Fool comes in, right? Because the Fool is all about taking risks and stepping into the unknown. So, like, the Page of Swords can help you to plan your escape from the devil's clutches, but the Fool can give you the courage to actually take that leap of faith. It's like you can use your intelligence to understand the situation, but you also need to trust your intuition and to have faith that everything is going to be okay. Because if you just stay stuck in your head, you'll never actually break free. You need to take action, even if it's scary. And justice, remember, comes in to say that your actions must be aligned with your values. So if something smells fishy, trust that instinct, okay? With the sword, you cut through what is unnecessary. It allows you to decide what is important so you can act in alignment with your values. Like, justice wants you to be responsible and to be accountable for your choices. And you've already taken a leap of faith into the unknown. This card pull is all about knowing what steps to take once you've already committed to that change, right? So, okay, let's bring this all together, right? You chose the Citrine star, so that protective energy is with you. And the theme of this whole reading is beacon of resilience, meaning that you have these messages, guarded and ready to empower your inner strength, okay? So we're not just talking about random cards here. This is all about you and what you need to know right now. So, we started with the devil, right? And that's all about recognizing those areas in your life where you're feeling stuck or limited. It could be a job, a relationship, or even just a belief system that's holding you back. But the key is to see those chains for what they are, illusions. You are stronger than you think, okay? And then we had the fool who's like, okay, I'm not going to let those limitations hold me back anymore. I'm going to take a leap of faith and trust that everything is going to work out. And that's so important because you can't let fear paralyze you. You have to be willing to take risks, even if they're scary. The protective energy of Citrine comes in here to let you know that you're safe. Justice came in right after to help give you a sense of balance. You can leap, but do not harm others on the way down. Your actions have consequences, so be mindful of them, even if you are taking a risk. And then we had the moon come in, and that's where things got really interesting, because the moon is all about the subconscious and the hidden aspects of ourselves. It's about facing our fears and our shadows, and it's about trusting our intuition, even when things don't make sense logically. You need to sit and acknowledge your true desires, even the ones you keep hidden. And this is an ongoing thing. You have to check in with it. And now, finally, we have the Page of Swords, which is like, okay, now it's time to put all of this into action. It's time to gather information, communicate our ideas, and make a positive impact on the world. You've got the energy to take action and the wisdom to use it well. You've got a really amazing opportunity to break free of what binds you. You know, it's like you're breaking free from the things that hold you back, stepping into the unknown with faith, acting with integrity, listening to your intuition, and then sharing your wisdom with the world. And with the Citrine star protecting you every step of the way and this powerful message of resilience, you are unstoppable. So yeah, that's the reading. Thank you for choosing the Citrine star today. I really hope that helped, and I think it's time for you to go off and shine your resilient, protected light. Okay, wow, so after all that intense journeying, we arrive at the Six of Pentacles. You know, after all the shadows we've been looking at, this feels like a real sigh of relief, almost. It's like, okay, we made it. This card, at its heart, is all about generosity, sharing, and abundance. It's about the flow of energy, both giving and receiving, and finding that sweet spot of balance. Think of it this way. We started with the devil, feeling all stuck and limited, right? But now, with the Six of Pentacles, it's like you've broken free from those chains, and you're able to share your gifts and resources with others, because you're no longer feeling depleted. You've already gone through all those changes. And it's like the fool, who took that crazy leap of faith, has landed on their feet and is now in a position to help others along the way. All that stuff with justice, with fairness, it comes in here. That's a big deal. It's a beautiful cycle, really, because the more you give, the more you receive, and the more abundant your life becomes. But it's also about recognizing that abundance isn't just about money or material possessions. It's about, time, energy, love, kindness. All those good things that we can share with each other. And that really brings that balance to your life that you were trying to find with the Justice card. So, the Six of Pentacles often shows someone giving coins to people who are in need. But it's not just about charity. It's about creating a system of mutual support and reciprocity. It's about recognizing that we're all interconnected and that when one person thrives, we all thrive. Now, with Justice, you were trying to get a read on your inner desires. The Pentacles are a sign that you're finally ready. So, what does this look like for you? Well, it could be about donating to a cause that you care about, or volunteering your time to help others, or simply offering a listening ear to a friend in need. It could also be about sharing your knowledge and skills with others. mentoring someone who's just starting out, or teaching a class on something that you're passionate about. You've already taken a risk, you have a plan to follow through, so now it's time to lift others. But here's the thing, the Six of Pentacles isn't just about giving. It's also about receiving. It's about being open to accepting help and support from others when you need it. It's about recognizing that you don't have to do everything on your own and that it's okay to ask for help. The Citrine star wants you to know that you're worthy of receiving. So maybe you've been struggling with something for a long time and you're finally ready to ask for help. Maybe you need to hire a coach or a therapist, or maybe you just need to lean on your friends and family for support. Whatever it is, the Six of Pentacles is saying that it's okay to receive. In fact, it's essential for creating balance in your life. That all makes sense with what you were trying to find through the Justice card, right? And that's where that beacon of resilience theme comes in, because being resilient isn't just about being strong and independent. It's also about knowing when to ask for help and being willing to receive it with grace and gratitude. It's about building a strong support system and creating a community of people who have got your back. Okay, wow. All of these cards are combining so well. The Citrine star is there to remind you that you're protected and that you deserve to receive all the good things that life has to offer and to remember to pay it forward. You deserve it. It's like you've been through so much, you've overcome so many challenges, and now it's time to celebrate your abundance and to share it with others. So yeah, that's the Six of Pentacles in a nutshell. Generosity, sharing, abundance, giving, receiving, balance. It's all about creating a cycle of mutual support and reciprocity. It's about recognizing that we're all interconnected and that when one person thrives, we all thrive. But let's get even more specific, right? What could this card mean for you, specifically? Okay, so in terms of your career, this could mean that you're in a position to mentor someone who's just starting out or to share your knowledge and expertise with your colleagues. It could also mean that you're finally being recognized for your contributions and that you're receiving the compensation and appreciation that you deserve. You did all of that hard work with the Page of Swords, right? Or maybe it's about starting your own business and creating jobs for other people. Or maybe it's about using your skills and talents to make a positive impact on your community. Whatever it is, the Six of Pentacles is encouraging you to use your career as a platform for generosity and abundance. And what about your relationships? Well, this could mean that you're in a position to support your friends and family members who are going through a difficult time. It could mean that you're offering a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, or financial assistance if they need it. It could also mean that you're creating a more balanced and equitable relationship with your partner, where you're both giving and receiving equally. Or maybe it's about volunteering your time to help children. Or maybe it's about forgiving someone who has hurt you in the past and moving forward with a sense of compassion and understanding. The Citrine star is there to protect you as you open yourself up to others. Whatever it is, the Six of Pentacles is encouraging you to use your relationships as a source of love, support, and connection. And what about your finances? Well, this could mean that you're in a position to donate to a charity that you care about, or to invest in a social enterprise that's making a positive impact on the world. It could also mean that you're creating a budget that allows you to save money, pay off debt, and still have enough to enjoy life. Or maybe it's about teaching your children about financial literacy so that they can grow up to be responsible and successful with their money. Whatever it is, the Six of Pentacles is encouraging you to use your finances as a tool for creating abundance and security, not just for yourself, but for others as well. As justice would want, right? But here's where it gets really interesting when you combine it with all the other cards we've seen, right? So, the Devil, remember, was all about feeling trapped and limited. But now, with the Six of Pentacles, it's like you've broken free from those limitations, and you're able to share your abundance with others. So, maybe you were feeling stuck in a job that wasn't fulfilling you, but now you've found a new career that allows you to use your talents to make a positive impact on the world. Or maybe you were feeling trapped in a toxic relationship, but now, you've found a loving and supportive partner who appreciates you for who you are. It shows you're capable of loving, being generous, and moving on. And the fool, who took that crazy leap of faith, has landed on their feet and is now in a position to help others along the way. So, maybe you took a big risk and started your own business, and now you're able to create jobs for other people in your community. Or maybe you traveled to a foreign country and volunteered your time to help people in need. And Justice, who is all about fairness and balance, is now seeing her efforts pay off as you create a more equitable and just world for yourself and others. So, maybe you fought for equal rights for women or minorities, and now you're seeing the fruits of your labor as society becomes more inclusive and accepting. The scales are balancing. And the moon, who is all about intuition and the subconscious, is now guiding you to use your gifts and talents to serve others in a way that aligns with your soul's purpose. So, maybe you discovered a hidden talent for healing or teaching, and now you're using that talent to help others heal and grow. It's all about recognizing your place. And the Page of Swords, who is all about gathering information and communicating your ideas, is now helping you to share your knowledge and wisdom with the world in a way that inspires and empowers others. So, maybe you wrote a book or created a website that's helping people to live more fulfilling lives. Or maybe you gave a speech that inspired people to take action on an important issue. You really can do anything. Okay, so the Six of Pentacles is all about generosity, sharing, abundance, giving, receiving, and balance. It's about creating a cycle of mutual support and reciprocity. And it's about using your gifts and talents to make a positive impact on the world. So, what's the bottom line here? What's the final message that Spirit wants you to know? Well, it's this: you are worthy of receiving all the good things that life has to offer. You have so much to give to the world, and you're ready to share it with others. You are protected, you are resilient, and you are loved. Trust yourself. Now go out there and shine your light. That citrine star is with you always. Okay, Moonstone butterfly, so pretty, right? And this crystal is all about clarifying, which is perfect because your reading is about emerging truths, like those subtle whispers finally turning into something you can really understand. I am so excited for this. Okay, so let's dive right in. Are you ready? Wow, King of Cups, the Hanged Man, and the World. Okay, so immediately, I'm feeling this journey, like a real leveling up kind of vibe. It's like you're starting from a place of emotional maturity and balance with the King of Cups. But then there's this necessary pause, this surrender with the Hanged Man, almost like you have to let go to really achieve that ultimate sense of completion and fulfillment with the world. Maybe there's been delays, or maybe things just aren't quite what they seem. I'm really getting that from the Hanged Man. But let's see what we can find here. I have such a good feeling about this. So let's really get into this King of Cups energy. This is a beautiful card, right? This king, he's all about balanced emotions, compassion, and just really being in tune with your feelings, but also being able to manage them, It's not about being overly emotional or letting your feelings control you. It's about having that emotional intelligence, being able to understand and process your emotions in a healthy way. And that's a big difference. A huge difference. You might be someone who's really good at offering support and guidance to others, being that rock for your friends and family. You're probably someone that people come to when they need a listening ear or just someone to understand what they're going through, and you give amazing advice too. You just have this natural ability to empathize with others. It's really a gift. But it's not just about relationships, though. This King of Cups energy can also show up in your career or creative pursuits. Maybe you're in a field where you can use your emotional intelligence to help others, like counseling or therapy, or even something in the arts where you can express your emotions in a creative way, like music or writing. Or maybe you are just a great leader at work because you are able to lead with empathy and understanding. And seriously, that is so important. People are going to really appreciate that and want to work with you because they know that you care, really, genuinely care. Now, with all that said, let's think about the shadow side of this king, because every card has one, right? Sometimes, When we're so focused on being balanced and compassionate, we can kind of repress our own emotions, or we can become a little bit manipulative in order to maintain that sense of control. It's like, are you really dealing with your own stuff, or are you just so busy taking care of everybody else that you are neglecting yourself? That's something to really think about here. Are you setting those boundaries and making sure that you're not getting burned out by constantly being there for everyone else? Because that is super, super important, you know? You can't pour from an empty cup, as they say, so make sure you are filling your own cup first. Okay, so I'm thinking. A real-life example of this King of Cups energy. Let's say a friend is going through a really tough time, right? And they come to you for advice. Instead of just telling them what to do, you're really listening to them, you're validating their feelings, you're offering them support and understanding, and you are helping them to see things from a different perspective, and you're helping them to come to their own conclusions, their own solutions, you know. You're not just fixing their problems for them, you're empowering them to fix their own problems. And that's a huge difference. And it's so, so powerful. Because then they are learning to rely on themselves, too. Okay, so we have the King of Cups. And remember, this is about emerging truths and those subtle whispers turning into something profound. So this King of Cups energy, it's like the foundation, right? It's like you're building from a place of emotional strength. But what's next? What's Spirit trying to whisper to you? What's that next piece of the puzzle? Because remember, we have the Hanged Man coming up next, so we know there is some kind of shift coming. Okay, so let's get ready for that shift, because it is a big one. So now we have the Hanged Man. And this is where things get really interesting, right? Because this card is all about surrender, sacrifice, and seeing things from a totally different perspective. It's like you're hanging upside down, so everything you thought you knew, everything you thought was true, it's all flipped on its head, you know. And that can be really uncomfortable, but it can also be incredibly freeing. The Hanged Man often represents a pause in action, a time to step back and reevaluate your priorities. Maybe you've been pushing really hard towards a certain goal, or you've been stuck in a certain way of thinking, and this card is telling you to just stop for a second, just take a breath, and look at things from a different angle. Like, is this really what you want? Is this the best way to get there? What are you missing? I just know there's something you're missing here. Sometimes, the Hanged Man can represent a sacrifice that needs to be made. It's not necessarily a bad thing, though, and don't let it scare you. It could be something like giving up a certain lifestyle or a certain relationship in order to achieve something greater, you know. It's like you have to let go of something in order to move forward. But sometimes, this card can also indicate a period of waiting, like a delay in your plans or a feeling of being stuck, like things just aren't moving forward the way you want them to. And that can be really frustrating, right? Especially if you're someone who's used to being in control and making things happen. But the key here is to remember that this is not a time for force. This is a time for surrender. It's a time to trust the process and to know that everything is happening for a reason, even if you can't see it right now. And seriously, that can be so hard, but you have to trust. Spirit is asking you to trust. Okay, let me think. So, what are some real-life examples of this Hanged Man energy? Well, let's say you've been working really hard on a project at work, and you're expecting a promotion. But then, out of nowhere, the project gets put on hold, or someone else gets the promotion instead. You could get really angry and frustrated, and you could start blaming everyone else. But the Hanged Man is asking you to take a step back and look at the situation from a different perspective. Maybe this is an opportunity for you to learn new skills, or maybe this is a sign that you're not really on the right path, and it's time to explore other options. Or, let's say you're in a relationship that's just not working, but you're afraid to end it because you don't want to be alone. The Hanged Man is asking you to consider whether you're really happy, or whether you're just clinging to something that's no longer serving you. Maybe it's time to let go and create space for something new to come into your life, you know. It's scary, but it could be so worth it. Another way to connect with this energy is through meditation or spending time in nature. Just really allowing yourself to be still and quiet and to listen to your intuition. What is your inner voice telling you? What are the whispers that you've been ignoring? Because this is the time to really tune in and to trust that you're being guided, even if you don't know where you're going. You really need to listen. It's like the universe is saying, "Hey, I'm trying to show you something, but you're not paying attention." The Hanged Man is asking you to surrender to the unknown and to trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. Remember, it's all about shifting your perspective and seeing things from a new angle, and it's all part of the process of getting to that ultimate fulfillment that we see in the world. So, how are we going to get there? How does this surrender lead to completion? I cannot wait to find out. It is so exciting. Are you excited? I am. Okay, the world. This is it, right? This is the card of completion, integration, and new beginnings. It's like you've gone through all these different stages. You've learned all these lessons, and now you're finally ready to step into your full potential and really achieve that sense of wholeness and fulfillment. It's like you've climbed the mountain, and you're standing at the top, taking in the view and feeling so proud of everything you've accomplished. You made it. The world often represents the achievement of a major goal or the completion of a significant cycle in your life. Maybe you've finally finished a big project at work, or you've reached a milestone in your personal growth journey, or you've found that perfect relationship that you've been searching for. Whatever it is, this card is telling you to celebrate your success and to really acknowledge how far you've come. It's like you deserve it. But it's not just about celebrating the past, it's also about preparing for the future. The world is a card of new beginnings, and it's telling you that you're now ready to start a new chapter in your life, with all the wisdom and experience you've gained along the way. It's like you've graduated, and now it's time to go out into the world and create something amazing. What are you going to do with all this newfound knowledge? This card can show up in different areas of your life. In your career, it might mean achieving a major milestone, like getting that promotion or launching your own business, or finally feeling like you're in the right place, doing what you're meant to do. In your relationships, it might mean finding that deep connection with someone, or feeling like you're finally on the same page as your partner, or just experiencing a sense of harmony and balance in your relationships. And spiritually, it can mean reaching a new level of awareness or understanding, or feeling more connected to the divine. It's like your spiritual journey coming into its own. So let's bring this all back to our theme of emerging truths. What is the ultimate realization that you're reaching here? What's the big aha moment that you're experiencing? Well, I think it's about understanding that everything is connected, that all of your experiences, both good and bad, have led you to this moment of completion and fulfillment. It's about recognizing that you have the power to create your own reality, and that you're not just a victim of circumstance. You are making your own destiny. It's about integrating all the different parts of yourself, the light and the shadow, the masculine and the feminine, the conscious and the subconscious, into a cohesive whole. And it's about understanding that you're not just an individual, you're also part of something larger than yourself, a part of the universe. So, you started with the emotional intelligence of the King of Cups. You surrendered and shifted your perspective with the Hanged Man, and now you've reached this point of completion and integration with the world. It's been quite a journey, right? But it's not over yet, because life is a cycle, and there's always something new to learn, something new to experience. And that's what makes it so exciting. So get ready for the next chapter, because I have a feeling it's going to be amazing. Wow, okay. So those 3 cards together, that's really powerful. I feel like, you're kind of reaching the end of a cycle, coming into your own, but definitely had to release something to get there. I am so excited to see how that plays out even further, and what other messages Spirit has for you. So let's pull the next card. Ooh, the High Priestess. Okay, wow, this is such a powerful card, and I feel like it really adds another layer to what we've already seen. The High Priestess is all about intuition, mystery, and the subconscious. She's the guardian of the unseen, the keeper of secrets, and the one who can access the hidden knowledge that's just beyond our conscious awareness, So, what does she have to say to you? What's she whispering? Okay, so let's really try to connect this to the King of Cups, the Hanged Man, and the world. It's like you've already got this strong emotional foundation, right? With the King of Cups, you're in tune with your feelings, you're compassionate, and you're able to manage your emotions in a healthy way. But the High Priestess is saying that there's more to the story, you know? There's a deeper level of understanding that you need to tap into, and it's not something that you can access through logic or reason. It's something that you have to feel, something that you have to intuit. And then we have the Hanged Man. And remember, that's all about surrender and seeing things from a different perspective. Well, the High Priestess is like the ultimate surrender, right? It's about surrendering to your intuition, surrendering to the unknown, and trusting that you're being guided even if you don't know where you're going. It's like the Hanged Man is preparing you to receive the wisdom of the High Priestess. You had to release control to be ready to receive this card. And then, finally, we have the World, which is all about completion and integration. And the High Priestess is like the key to that integration, you know? She's the one who can help you to connect with your subconscious and to bring all the different parts of yourself into alignment. She helps you understand yourself. It's like she's showing you that the journey isn't just about achieving external success. It's also about finding inner peace and harmony. So cool, right? Okay, so let's really dive into the symbolism of the High Priestess. She's often depicted sitting between two pillars, one black and one white, which represent duality and balance, you know. It's like she understands that there are two sides to everything, and that both sides are necessary for wholeness, like the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, the light and the shadow. And she's not afraid to embrace both sides, you know? She knows that they're both part of her, and that they both have something to teach her. She's also holding a scroll or a book, which represents hidden knowledge and wisdom, you know. This isn't knowledge that you can just find in a textbook. This is knowledge that you have to earn through experience, through intuition, and through connecting with your inner self. And she's not just going to hand it over to you, you know. You have to be willing to do the work to uncover it yourself. It's like she's saying, I can guide you, but you have to be the one to take the journey. Behind her is a veil, and that veil separates the conscious from the subconscious. It's like she's standing on the threshold between these two worlds, and she has access to both of them. But she also knows that you can't just cross over without preparation, you know. You have to be ready to face what's on the other side. You have to be willing to confront your fears and your shadows. And seriously, that can be really scary, but it's also incredibly rewarding. Okay, so what are some real-life scenarios where the High Priestess energy might show up? Well, let's say you're facing a really difficult decision, and you're not sure what to do, you know. You've weighed all the pros and cons, you've talked to everyone you know, but you're still feeling lost and confused. The High Priestess is telling you to stop trying to figure it out with your head and start listening to your intuition. What is your gut telling you? What feels right? What feels true? Even if it doesn't make logical sense, you know. Sometimes the best decisions are the ones that we make from our hearts, not from our heads. Or let's say you're feeling really disconnected from yourself, like you've lost touch with your inner voice, you know. You're just going through the motions, doing what you think you're supposed to do, but you're not really feeling anything. The High Priestess is telling you to take some time for yourself, to go inward, and to reconnect with your intuition. Spend some time in nature, meditate, journal, do whatever helps you to get quiet and listen to your inner voice. And don't be afraid to explore your shadow side, you know? What are your fears? What are your insecurities? What are the parts of yourself that you've been trying to hide? The High Priestess knows that these parts are just as important as your strengths, and that they have valuable lessons to teach you. It's like she is saying that the more you understand yourself, the more whole you can become. Another example. Maybe you're drawn to learning about esoteric subjects, like tarot, astrology, or mythology, you know. The High Priestess is a sign that you have a natural affinity for these things, and that you can use them to gain a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. Don't be afraid to explore these interests, you know. They can lead you to some amazing discoveries. But it's important to remember that the High Priestess is not just about gaining knowledge. It's also about integrating that knowledge into your life and using it to help others, you know. It's like she's saying, The more you learn, the more you have to share. Okay, so with all that said, how can you actively bring this energy into your life? How can you connect with the High Priestess on a daily basis? Well, one way is to start paying attention to your dreams, Dreams are a direct line to your subconscious, and they can often reveal hidden truths and insights. Keep a dream journal and write down your dreams as soon as you wake up, and then try to analyze them, What are the symbols? What are the emotions? What are the messages? And don't be afraid to ask for guidance from your dreams, Before you go to sleep, ask your subconscious to show you what you need to know. Now, of course, like every card, there is a shadow side to the High Priestess. Sometimes, when we're so focused on intuition and mystery, we can become a little bit too passive, We can get so caught up in our own inner world that we forget to take action in the real world. Or we can become so reliant on our intuition that we ignore logic and reason altogether. It's important to find a balance between these two. You can't just live in your head, but you also can't just ignore your intuition. You have to find a way to integrate both of them into your life. Another shadow aspect of the High Priestess is that she can be a bit secretive, She's the keeper of secrets, after all. But sometimes, that secrecy can turn into manipulation or withholding information from others. It's important to be honest and transparent with the people in your life, even if it's difficult, The High Priestess is not about hiding the truth. She's about revealing it at the right time and in the right way. It's like, are you using your intuition to help others, or are you using it to control them? That's a really important question to ask yourself. You have to be cautious here. Don't let the secrets overtake you. Okay, so Moonstone butterfly with the clarifying energy and this theme of emerging truths. The High Priestess is seriously amplifying that, right? It's like, the truths aren't just going to be handed to you, you have to go looking for them, deep within yourself, and that takes courage, and it takes trust. But I feel like this is such an important piece of the puzzle for you. I am so excited about this. So, what's next? What's the next piece of guidance from Spirit? Okay, Knight of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. Okay, so right away, Knight of Pentacles, this is all about, slow and steady wins the race, This isn't one of those flashy knights that's, charging into battle. This is the knight that's, carefully cultivating the land, making sure everything is, just right, So, what does that mean for you? Well, first of all, this knight is all about being responsible, being reliable, and just really, 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 really being committed to the task at hand. It's about, putting in the hard work, the effort, the dedication that it takes to achieve your goals. It is not always easy, but this knight is steady. And you have to, stay focused, So, connecting this back to the King of Cups, the Hanged Man, the World, and the High Priestess. I'm feeling like you've got this amazing emotional foundation. You've done the inner work to shift your perspective. You've reached a point of completion. You've tapped into your intuition. And now this Knight of Pentacles is showing you how to actually bring all of that into the real world, It's like, you've got all the pieces, and now it's time to put them together like a puzzle. Remember our theme, emerging truths? It's like those truths are starting to take shape. They're becoming more concrete, and this knight is helping you to solidify them, to make them a reality. It is so cool. So how does this Knight of Pentacles energy actually play out in real life? Well, let's say you've been having this, amazing creative idea, right? Something you are so excited about. And you've been, dreaming about it, you've been, visualizing it, you've been feeling the energy of it, with that High Priestess energy. But now, the Knight of Pentacles is saying, okay, it's time to get practical, it is time to sit down and actually start working on it. What are the steps you need to take? What resources do you need? What's your timeline? It's time to make a plan. Or let's say you've been wanting to start a new business, right? And you've been doing all the research, you've been networking, you've been, getting all your ducks in a row. But now, the Knight of Pentacles is saying, it's time to take the leap. It's time to invest the money, it is time to get the licenses, it is time to actually, open your doors and start selling. Or maybe it is something totally different. Maybe you have been working on your health, right? You've been eating better, you have been exercising, you have been meditating, and you are feeling so great. And the Knight of Pentacles is showing up to say, keep going. Stay consistent. Don't give up now. You are doing so great, and you have to keep putting in the work every single day to maintain your progress. The Knight of Pentacles is all about consistency, you know? It's not about those big, dramatic changes. It is about the small, steady efforts that add up over time. It's like one step at a time, one brick at a time, one day at a time. You will get there. This is such a good sign. Okay, so with that said, there is always a shadow side. So what is it here? Well, sometimes this knight can get a little bit too focused on the details, right? They can get so bogged down in the practicality of things that they lose sight of the bigger picture. It is very easy to get caught up in this. Or they can become a little bit too rigid, right? A little bit too stuck in their ways. They are not open to new ideas or new approaches. They are like, this is the way I have always done it, and this is the way I am always going to do it, no matter what. And sometimes, that can really hold them back, so think about that. Another shadow aspect of the Knight of Pentacles is that they can be a little bit materialistic, right? A little bit too focused on money and possessions. They can start to define their worth by what they own, rather than by who they are. You don't want to fall into that trap. It is really about, like, finding a balance, right? It's about being practical and responsible, but also staying open to new ideas and new possibilities. It's about working hard and being committed, but also remembering to enjoy the journey and to appreciate the little things. It is so important to do that. So, how can you harness the positive energy of the Knight of Pentacles without falling into those shadow tendencies? Well, one way is to really focus on your values, you know? What is truly important to you? What do you want to create in the world? And then let those values guide your actions. Don't just focus on the money or the recognition, focus on making a difference, and that is what will really bring you fulfillment. Another way is to stay curious, you know? Keep learning, keep exploring, keep trying new things. Don't get stuck in a rut. Be open to new perspectives and new approaches. And remember that failure is just a learning opportunity. It is not the end of the world. And finally, remember to take care of yourself, you know. Don't get so caught up in your work that you forget to eat healthy, exercise, and get enough sleep. Take time for yourself to relax, to recharge, and to connect with the people you love. You cannot pour from an empty cup, so make sure you are filling your own cup first. Okay, so, Moonstone Butterfly with the clarifying energy and this theme of emerging truths. I feel like this Knight of Pentacles is really helping you to, like, ground those truths, to make them tangible, to bring them into the physical world. The whispers are turning into, like, actions, and you're starting to see the results of your hard work. It is all coming together. I am so excited for you. This is great. But, like, what's the final piece of the puzzle? What's the ultimate destination on this journey? What's the last message that Spirit wants you to know? I cannot wait to find out. This is so exciting. Let's pull that last card. Okay, the Hierophant. Oh my goodness, this is so interesting. Okay, so right away, the Hierophant is all about tradition, institutions, and established systems, you know? It's about learning from the past, following the rules, and respecting authority. But it's also about questioning those rules and deciding for yourself what you believe in. It's like, what is Spirit trying to tell you right now? What is this card trying to tell you that you need to know? So, like, connecting this back to the King of Cups, the Hanged Man, the World, the High Priestess, and the Knight of Pentacles. I'm feeling like you've built this solid emotional foundation with the King of Cups, but the Hierophant is asking you to consider where those emotions are coming from, you know. Are they based on your own authentic feelings, or are they based on what you've been taught to believe? And then, with the Hanged Man, you've already started to question things, to see things from a different perspective. But the Hierophant is saying, okay, now it's time to really examine those beliefs, to really dig deep and see if they still resonate with you. I'm really feeling that shift. And then we have the World, the card of completion. The Hierophant is saying, okay, now that you've reached this point of completion, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to follow the traditional path, or are you going to create your own way? And then, with the High Priestess, you've tapped into your intuition, you've connected with your inner wisdom. But the Hierophant is reminding you that there's also value in external knowledge, in learning from the experiences of others. It's like, how can you balance your intuition with traditional wisdom? And with the Knight of Pentacles, you're putting in the hard work, you're being responsible and committed. But the Hierophant is asking you to consider whether you're working towards goals that are truly aligned with your values, or whether you're just following someone else's agenda. It's like, are you building your own empire, or are you just working for the man, you know? So, like, how does this Hierophant energy actually play out in real life? Well, let's say you're at a crossroads in your career, right? You've been working in a certain field for a long time, and you're really good at it, but you're not really feeling fulfilled. The Hierophant is asking you to consider whether you're truly passionate about what you're doing, or whether you're just staying in that job because it's what you've always done, or because it's what your parents expect you to do. Maybe it's time to explore other options, to find a career that's more aligned with your values and your passions. Or let's say you're in a relationship, and you're feeling like something's missing, you know. You love your partner, but you're not really feeling connected on a deeper level. The Hierophant is asking you to consider whether you're truly compatible, or whether you're just staying together because it's what society expects, or because you're afraid of being alone. Maybe it's time to have an honest conversation with your partner about your needs and desires, and to see if you can find a way to create a more fulfilling relationship. This is a big one. Or maybe it's something completely different. Maybe you've been raised in a certain religion or belief system, and you're starting to question those beliefs. The Hierophant is asking you to consider whether those beliefs still resonate with you, or whether you're just holding on to them out of habit or fear. Maybe it's time to do some research, to explore other spiritual paths, and to find a belief system that truly aligns with your soul, you know. This is a card that will not steer you wrong. The Hierophant is all about finding your own truth, even if it means breaking away from tradition, you know. It's not about blindly following the rules, it's about understanding the rules and deciding for yourself whether they're worth following. It's about respecting authority, but also questioning authority when necessary. This card is all about thinking for yourself. Okay, so with that said, there's always a shadow side. So what is it here? Well, sometimes this Hierophant can get a little bit too rigid, right? Too dogmatic. They can become so attached to their beliefs that they're not open to other perspectives. They're like, this is the only way to do things, and if you don't agree with me, you're wrong. You know, that can be really, really frustrating. Another shadow aspect of the Hierophant is that they can be a little bit controlling, right? They can try to impose their beliefs on others, to tell them what to do and how to live their lives. It's like, I know what's best for you, so just listen to me. That is so not okay. You don't want to fall into that trap. It's really about finding a balance, right? It's about respecting tradition, but also being open to new ideas. It's about seeking knowledge and wisdom, but also trusting your own intuition. It's about following the rules, but also questioning the rules when necessary. It's about finding your own truth and allowing others to find theirs. You have to let others find their way. So, how can you harness the positive energy of the Hierophant without falling into those shadow tendencies? Well, one way is to really focus on learning, you know? Read books, take classes, attend workshops, talk to people who have different perspectives than you. The more you learn, the more you'll be able to understand the world and your place in it. Knowledge is power, so use it. Another way is to practice tolerance, you know? Accept that people have different beliefs and values than you do, and that's okay. You don't have to agree with them, but you can respect them. And remember that everyone is on their own journey, and they're doing the best they can, you know? You have to have faith. And finally, remember to stay humble, you know? Don't think that you have all the answers. Be open to learning from others and be willing to admit when you're wrong. The more humble you are, the more you'll grow. It is okay to be wrong. Okay, so Moonstone Butterfly with the clarifying energy and this theme of emerging truths. I feel like this Hierophant is really helping you to understand the foundations of your beliefs, to see where they come from, and to decide whether they still serve you. The whispers are turning into questions, and you're starting to challenge the status quo. This is all so important. This card can also be about finding a mentor or becoming a mentor yourself. Maybe you are seeking guidance from someone who has more experience than you, someone who can help you on your path. Or maybe you are being called to share your knowledge and wisdom with others, to guide them on their journey. I think you will learn even more if you become the teacher. Think about who you admire, who you respect, who has something to teach you. Reach out to them, ask for their advice, and be open to learning from their experiences. And think about who you can help, who you can mentor, who you can inspire. Share your gifts with the world, and you'll be amazed at the impact you can have. The world needs your wisdom. The Hierophant can also represent traditional institutions like schools, churches, and community organizations. Maybe you're being called to get more involved in these institutions, to volunteer your time, to share your talents. Or maybe you're being called to challenge these institutions, to advocate for change, to make them more inclusive and equitable. You have the power to make a difference. This card is showing you that. This is such a cool card. It's like the universe is asking you to step into your power, to use your voice, to make a difference in the world. You have so much to offer, and it's time to share it with others. This is your time to shine. It's all about finding your own path, your own truth, and living your life in alignment with your values. It's about breaking free from the constraints of tradition and creating a future that's more authentic, more fulfilling, and more meaningful. You can do this. But what's the final piece of the puzzle? What's the ultimate destination on this journey? What's the last message that Spirit wants you to know? I cannot wait to find out. This is so exciting. Let's pull that last card. Okay, the Eight of Wands. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Okay, so right away, the Eight of Wands is things are moving fast, right? It's all about speed, action, and momentum. It's like bam, things are happening and they're happening now. So what does that mean for you? Well, first of all, this card is all about communication, about messages coming in quickly, about things getting cleared up, and things are happening, you know. It is not always things you expect, but it always happens for a reason, you know. It is you are getting ready to take off, or the time to get ready has ended, you know. You will be flying soon. So connecting this back to the King of Cups, the Hanged Man, the World, the High Priestess, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. I'm feeling like you've got this amazing emotional foundation, and you are ready to express it to the world, you know. You have released what does not serve you. You have seen it from a new perspective, you know. This momentum is building up, and it is finally here. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have been getting everything together to prepare, right? Well, guess what? The Eight of Wands is here, and it is time to launch. You have the wisdom, you have the drive, you have the passion. What more do you need? So, how does this Eight of Wands energy actually play out in real life? Well, let's say you've been waiting for news about a job, right? And you have been waiting and waiting and waiting, and it feels like it is never going to come, right? Well, guess what? The Eight of Wands is here, and you are going to get that call, you are going to get that email, and you are going to get the news that you have been waiting for. Or let's say you have been working on a creative project, right? And you have been feeling stuck, and you have been feeling blocked, and you have been feeling like you are never going to finish it. Well, guess what? The Eight of Wands is here, and you are going to have a burst of inspiration. You are going to have a breakthrough, and you are going to finish that project in record time. Or maybe it is something completely different. Maybe you have been wanting to travel, right? And you have been dreaming about it, and you have been planning it, but you have not actually booked the tickets yet. Well, guess what? The Eight of Wands is here, and you are going to find a great deal. You are going to book that trip, and you are going to be on your way in no time. It is time to get out there. The Eight of Wands is all about speed and efficiency, you know? It is about things happening quickly, and it is about things getting done. It is like the universe is saying, okay, you have been preparing, you have been waiting, and now it is time to go. The doors are open, the path is clear, and you are ready to fly. This is such a great card. Okay, so, with that said, what is the shadow? Because you always have to watch out for that shadow side. What is it here? Well, sometimes this Eight of Wands energy can be a little bit overwhelming, right? Things can be moving so fast that you feel like you are losing control. You can feel like you are being swept away by the current, and you do not know where you are going. Or you can become a little bit too impulsive, right? Too reckless. You can start making decisions without thinking them through, and you can end up making mistakes. You do not want to rush into things, you want to take your time, but also be aware, right? That things are moving forward. Another shadow aspect of the Eight of Wands is that it can be a little bit scattered, right? A little bit unfocused. You can have so many ideas and so many opportunities coming your way that you do not know which one to choose. You can end up spreading yourself too thin, and you cannot accomplish anything. What is the best way to do things? You have to really evaluate what you want to do and what is really calling to you. And you cannot always say yes to everything, you know. It is not always good to go. It is important to be discerning and to choose the opportunities that are truly aligned with your values and your goals. Okay, so how can you harness the positive energy of the Eight of Wands without falling into those shadow tendencies? Well, one way is to really focus on your intention, you know. What do you want to achieve? What is your goal? And then let that intention guide your actions. Do not just react to things as they come. Be proactive and make conscious choices that will help you to achieve your goal. Think ahead and plan. Another way is to stay grounded, you know. Even though things are moving fast, do not forget to take care of yourself. Make sure you are eating healthy, exercising, and getting enough sleep. Take time to relax, to meditate, and to connect with nature. The more grounded you are, the better you will be able to handle the speed and the intensity of the Eight of Wands energy. You have to be sure to take that time for yourself, or you will burn out. And finally, remember to trust your intuition, you know. The Eight of Wands is all about communication, and that includes communication with your inner self. Pay attention to your gut feelings, your hunches, and your dreams. Your intuition will guide you in the right direction, even when things are moving fast and you do not have time to think things through logically. Listen to your intuition, and you will be able to navigate any situation with grace and ease. You know yourself best, so don't be afraid to trust that. Okay, so Moonstone butterfly with the clarifying energy and this theme of emerging truths. I feel like this Eight of Wands is really helping you to, express those truths, to share them with the world, and to make them a reality. The whispers are turning into shouts, and you are finally ready to speak your truth, loud and proud. You know what you are doing. This is a great sign for you, and it is showing you that you are on the right path, and you are going to get to where you are going. But the journey is what is really important here, I think. With the Moonstone, you are really going to be able to see clearly where you are going. The emerging truths are starting to show themselves, and you are getting the message to finally step into yourself, which is so amazing for you. I can feel that. But what's the final piece of the puzzle? What's the ultimate destination on this journey? What's the last message that Spirit wants you to know? What is it all leading up to, do you know? Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to find out. This is so exciting. Let's pull that last card. Okay, Ace of Cups. Oh my goodness, what a perfect card to end on. This is like pure, unadulterated love, joy, and emotional fulfillment, right? It's like the universe is saying, here's a big, overflowing cup of happiness just for you. So, what does that mean for you, Moonstone butterfly? What is this card trying to tell you right now? I am so excited to share with you, wow. So, connecting this back to the King of Cups, the Hanged Man, the World, the High Priestess, the Knight of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the Eight of Wands. This is so powerful. With the King of Cups, you've already got that emotional maturity and balance, right? Well, the Ace of Cups is taking that to the next level. It is saying, it is time to open your heart even more, to embrace new love and new connections, and to really allow yourself to feel all the feels, you know. Do not hold back. And then, with the Hanged Man, you've had to surrender. You've had to see things from a different perspective. Well, the Ace of Cups is the reward for all that surrender. It is like the universe is saying, okay, you've let go of what no longer serves you, and now I'm going to fill you up with something even better. This is such a cool message. And then we have the World, which is all about completion and integration. The Ace of Cups is the perfect way to celebrate that completion, to embrace the joy and the fulfillment that you've earned. It is you have reached the top of the mountain, And now you can finally relax and enjoy the view with someone you love, or even by yourself, because self-love is so important. It is really all coming together. With the High Priestess, you have tapped into your intuition, you've connected with your inner wisdom. The Ace of Cups is saying, it is time to trust that intuition, to follow your heart, and to open yourself up to new possibilities. It is like your intuition is guiding you towards love and happiness, and all you have to do is listen. So amazing, right? And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. You have been working hard and being responsible, but now the Ace of Cups is showing up and saying, you deserve some fun. You deserve to enjoy the fruits of your labor and to celebrate your success with the people you love. And it is time to enjoy it. The Hierophant showed up to tell you about your beliefs, and the Ace of Cups is here to validate that, It is saying, now that you know yourself, now that you know what you want, you can seek that in others and love them for who they are. It is really about connection at this point and seeing those core values in others. Finally, with the Eight of Wands, things are moving fast. You are going places. And now, with the Ace of Cups here, it is saying you are going to have love in your life, no matter where you are going. It is such a wonderful message to see here, because it really validates everything that has been coming your way. So, how does this Ace of Cups energy actually play out in real life? Well, let's say you've been single for a while, right? And you've been feeling a little bit lonely, and you've been wondering if you'll ever find love. Ace of Cups is coming to tell you to open your heart and get ready, because love is on its way. It could be a new romantic partner, or it could be a deeper connection with a friend or family member. The universe wants you to know that you are worthy of love, and that love is coming to you in the perfect form and at the perfect time. This is so exciting. Or let's say you're already in a relationship, but you've been feeling a little bit disconnected from your partner, and you're wondering if the spark is gone. The Ace of Cups is saying, it is time to rekindle the flame, it is time to reconnect on a deeper level, and it is time to bring back the joy and the passion that you once shared. Plan a special date night, write a love letter, or simply spend some quality time together, talking and listening to each other. You may be so surprised at how powerful that can be. Or maybe it's something completely different. Maybe you've been feeling stressed and overwhelmed, and you're just needing a little bit of self-care. The Ace of Cups is saying, it is time to treat yourself with kindness and compassion. It is time to do something that makes you feel good, and it is time to remember that you deserve to be happy. Take a long bath, read a good book, listen to your favorite music, or spend time in nature. Do whatever brings you joy, and remember that self-love is the foundation for all other love. You can't pour from an empty cup, remember? Fill that cup up. The Ace of Cups is all about new beginnings, new opportunities, and new connections, It is about opening your heart to love in all its forms, and about allowing yourself to receive the blessings that the universe has in store for you. It is like the universe is saying, I love you, and I want you to be happy. Wow, what a message. Okay, so with that said, we have to watch out for that shadow side. What is it here? Well, sometimes, this Ace of Cups energy can be a little bit overwhelming, right? You can get so caught up in the excitement of new love that you forget to take care of yourself. It can happen easily. You can start neglecting your responsibilities, or you can start ignoring your own needs. You do not want to lose yourself in the process, because you are just as important, if not more important. Another shadow aspect of the Ace of Cups is that it can be a little bit unrealistic, right? You can start to have these fairy tale expectations about love, and you can get really disappointed when things do not go exactly as planned. It is important to remember that love is not always easy, and that it takes work and commitment to build a lasting relationship. It will come with challenges. So, how can you harness the positive energy of the Ace of Cups without falling into those shadow tendencies? Well, one way is to really focus on gratitude, Appreciate all the love that you already have in your life and all the blessings that are coming your way. The more grateful you are, the more love you will attract. Give thanks. Another way is to stay grounded, Even though you are feeling excited and joyful, do not forget to take care of yourself, to stay connected to your values, and to make responsible choices. Ground yourself. Remember, you are in control of your life. And finally, remember to trust your intuition, The Ace of Cups is all about opening your heart, but it is also about being discerning and about choosing wisely who you let into your life. Not everyone is worthy of your love, and it is important to protect your heart from those who would take advantage of you. Trust your intuition, and it will lead you to the right people. Okay, so Moonstone Butterfly with the clarifying energy and this theme of emerging truths. I feel like this Ace of Cups is really helping you to see the love that is all around you, to embrace the joy that is available to you, and to open your heart to new possibilities. The whispers are turning into songs, and you are finally ready to sing along. Embrace your journey. It is going to be great. With the Moonstone Butterfly energy, you are seeing clearly now, and you know what it is that you need to do. You have the love that you need inside of you, but are ready to share it with others, because that is just who you are. You have come a long way, and that clarifying energy is really showing you that you were always on the right path. It is just a matter of seeing it, and you can. You are doing so great, and I am so excited for you to really take all of this and build the life that you want. So, Moonstone Butterfly, embrace the love, embrace the joy, and embrace the journey. You are worthy of all the good things that are coming your way, and you have the power to create a life that is filled with love, happiness, and fulfillment. Trust yourself, trust your intuition, and trust the universe. You are exactly where you are supposed to be, and everything is unfolding perfectly. You are amazing, and I am so honored to be a part of your journey. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. Okay, my friend, if you were drawn to the Garnet cluster, get ready for a reading that's all about harmonizing your connections and weaving together your destiny with others. The Garnet cluster is known for its ability to bring balance and alignment, helping you to create deeper, more meaningful relationships. And that really plays into our theme today of a tapestry of connection, where we're looking at how your path is interwoven with the paths of others, revealing a shared spiritual purpose. And with these cards, oh, I'm so excited to show you. So the first card we have is the Three of Cups, and oh my gosh, this is all about celebration, friendship, and community. Like immediately, I'm getting this vibe of joyous gatherings, of connecting with people who just lift you up and make you feel good. It's like that feeling of finally finding your tribe, Like you're surrounded by people who get you, who support you, and who you can just be yourself with. And this could be old friends, new friends, or even rekindling friendships that have kind of faded over time. It's like the universe is saying, hey, it's time to prioritize your social life and invest in your relationships. Because these connections are going to bring you so much joy, so much support, and so many opportunities. Maybe there's a collaboration in the works, a creative project that you're working on with friends, or even just a fun getaway that you've been planning. Whatever it is, it's going to be filled with laughter, good vibes, and a sense of belonging. And you deserve that, you really do. This card also makes me think of celebrating milestones, like birthdays, graduations, weddings, or even just small victories. It's about taking the time to acknowledge your achievements and to share your joy with the people you love. Don't underestimate the power of a good party, It's not just about having fun, it's about strengthening bonds and creating memories that will last a lifetime. But it could also be something as simple as a weekly game night, a book club, or even just a regular coffee date with your bestie. The point is to make time for the people who matter most to you. And I'm also getting this feeling that this could be about expanding your social circle, like meeting new people who share your interests and values. Maybe you've been feeling a little isolated lately, or maybe you're just ready to branch out and explore new horizons. This card is saying, go for it. Put yourself out there and see what happens. Join a club, take a class, volunteer for a cause you care about. You never know who you might meet and what kind of amazing connections you might make. This card can also represent a strong support system. Like, if you're going through a tough time, these are the people who will be there for you, no matter what. They'll listen to you, they'll offer advice, and they'll help you to get back on your feet. Don't be afraid to lean on them, That's what friends are for. And, it's also important to be that support system for others, to be there for your friends when they need you. It's a two-way street, Like, you give and you receive. I also wonder if, thinking about the tapestry of connection, maybe this is about how your friendships are actually preparing you for something bigger, something more significant in your life. Like, maybe these connections are going to lead you to a new job, a new relationship, or a new opportunity that you never would have expected. The universe works in mysterious ways, And sometimes, the people we meet along the way are the key to unlocking our destiny. Okay, deep breath, because the next card is the Empress. Oh my God, the Empress is all about abundance, nurturing, and creation. And this is just amplifying that feeling of connection and joy from the Three of Cups. The Empress is like the ultimate Earth Mother, She's fertile, she's abundant, and she's overflowing with love and compassion. This card is all about tapping into your own inner power and creating a life that is filled with beauty, pleasure, and fulfillment. Like, I'm getting this feeling that you're being called to step into your own power, to embrace your femininity, and to create something beautiful in the world. This could be anything from starting a family to launching a new business to creating a work of art. Whatever it is, it's something that you're deeply passionate about and that will bring joy and abundance into your life. This card also makes me think of self-care, of taking the time to nurture yourself and to nourish your body, mind, and spirit. You deserve to be pampered, you deserve to be taken care of, and you deserve to feel good about yourself. So, treat yourself to a massage, take a long bath, spend time in nature, or do whatever it is that makes you feel happy and relaxed. And I'm also getting this feeling that you're being called to connect with nature, to spend time outdoors, and to appreciate the beauty of the natural world. The Empress is all about connecting with the earth, about feeling grounded and rooted in your own body. So, go for a walk in the park, plant a garden, or just sit outside and listen to the birds. It's amazing how much healing and nourishment you can get from spending time in nature. This card can also represent a strong feminine influence in your life, like a mother, a sister, a friend, or even just a role model. This person is someone who you admire and who you look up to, and who you can always count on for support and guidance. And it's also important to be that feminine influence for others, to be a source of strength and inspiration for the people around you. I also think that the Empress is calling you to really connect with your sensuality and embrace your pleasure. This isn't just about sex, though it can be, but it's about really allowing yourself to enjoy the simple things in life: delicious food, soft fabrics, beautiful scents, and the warmth of the sun on your skin. It's about savoring every moment and allowing yourself to fully experience the joy of being alive. Don't be afraid to indulge a little, you deserve it. Okay, but thinking about this tapestry of connection and the Three of Cups, maybe the Empress is showing you how to nurture those friendships, how to really create a sense of community and belonging. Like, maybe you're the one who's always organizing the get-togethers, or maybe you're the one who's always offering a listening ear. The Empress energy is about creating a nurturing and supportive environment for everyone around you. And I also wonder if this is about creating abundance through those connections. Like, maybe you and your friends are starting a business together, or maybe you're collaborating on a creative project that's going to bring you all a lot of success. The Empress is all about creating abundance, and the Three of Cups is all about connecting with others. So when you combine those two energies, you get this really powerful force for creation and manifestation. Now, hold on to your hat because the final card is the Lovers. Okay, the Lovers is about choices, partnerships, and alignment. Oh my goodness, the heat between these cards. This isn't just about romantic love, though it definitely can be. This card is about making choices that are aligned with your heart and soul, and about finding partnerships that support your highest potential. Like, I'm getting this feeling that you're at a crossroads in your life, and that you're being asked to make a decision that will have a profound impact on your future. This could be a decision about your relationship, your career, your finances, or even just your overall life path. And, it's important to choose wisely, to listen to your intuition, and to trust your gut. Don't let fear or pressure from others influence your decision. This is your life, and you have the right to choose what's best for you. This card also makes me think of partnerships, of finding someone who you can collaborate with, who you can support, and who can support you in return. This could be a romantic partner, a business partner, a creative partner, or even just a close friend. The key is to find someone who shares your values, who believes in your dreams, and who is willing to work with you to create something amazing. But it's also important to remember that partnerships are not always easy. They require compromise, communication, and a willingness to work through challenges together. There will be times when you disagree, there will be times when you feel frustrated, and there will be times when you want to give up. But if you're both committed to the relationship, and if you're both willing to put in the effort, you can overcome any obstacle. And, I'm also getting this feeling that you're being called to align your actions with your values, to live a life that is authentic and true to yourself. This means being honest with yourself and with others, and making choices that are in alignment with your beliefs. It means standing up for what you believe in, even when it's difficult, and it means living a life that is filled with integrity and purpose. Okay, but let's bring this back to the tapestry of connection. Maybe the lovers here aren't just romantic partners, but the different threads of your life coming together. Like your friendships, Three of Cups, your creative passions, Empress, and your life choices all weaving together to create a beautiful and unique tapestry. It's like you're learning how to integrate all the different parts of yourself into a cohesive whole. And I also wonder if this is about choosing the right people to weave into your tapestry. Not everyone is meant to be a permanent fixture in your life, and it's okay to let go of relationships that no longer serve you. The Lover's card is about making conscious choices about who you want to share your life with, and who you want to collaborate with to create something beautiful. You have the power to choose the threads that will create your destiny. It's so powerful. Okay, wow, that was a lot. So to recap, we have the Three of Cups, the Empress, and the Lovers, all pointing towards a time of celebration, abundance, and connection. You're being called to prioritize your relationships, to embrace your creativity, and to make choices that are aligned with your heart and soul. And all of this is weaving together to create a beautiful and unique tapestry of your life. Okay, but there's still more to uncover. Let's see what else Spirit wants you to know about this connection. Okay, are you ready for this? Because oh my gosh, this is gonna be good. Our next card, pulling it right now, is the Fool. Oh my goodness, the Fool, this is huge. This is all about new beginnings, about taking a leap of faith, about just jumping into the unknown with absolutely no fear. This is so exciting. Okay, so after all that talk about connection and choices and abundance, we've got the Fool just ready to shake things up. So, how does this fit in? Well, okay, the Three of Cups is all about celebrating with your friends, right? And the Empress is about creating abundance. And the Lovers are about making aligned choices. But the Fool is throwing all that up in the air and saying, okay, but what if we just started over? I know, right? It's kind of wild. It's like the universe is saying, okay, you've built this amazing foundation of friendship and abundance, but are you ready to take a risk and see where it leads you? This could be about taking a leap of faith in one of those relationships, you know. Maybe you and one of your friends have been talking about starting a business together, and the Fool is saying, just do it. What are you waiting for? Or maybe it's about moving to a new city with your bestie, even though it's scary. The Fool is all about embracing the unknown, even if it means leaving your comfort zone. But it's not just about recklessness, you know. It's about trusting the universe and believing that everything will work out for the best. And with that tapestry of connection, it's are you ready to weave in some new, unexpected threads? The Fool is like that wild, vibrant color that you weren't expecting, but ends up making the whole tapestry even more beautiful and unique. Maybe it's about meeting someone completely new who challenges your perspectives and opens you up to new possibilities. Or maybe it's about exploring a new hobby or interest that you never would have considered before, but that ends up bringing you so much joy and fulfillment. I'm also wondering if this is about taking a risk in your relationships. Like being more vulnerable, sharing your deepest fears and desires, even if it feels scary. The Fool is about being authentic and true to yourself, and that includes being honest with the people you love. It's like saying, okay, I'm going to show you the real me, even if it means being a little bit foolish. But that vulnerability can actually deepen your connections and create even more intimacy. Think about it, like starting a totally new chapter with your friends. The Lover's card talks about partnership, and this could mean you and your besties deciding to buy some land together and build an eco-village, or all deciding to go back to school together for something totally different. The Fool energy is here to say it's time to ask, why not? And then just go do it. Okay, so let's get real for a second. The Fool isn't always sunshine and rainbows, right? There's a shadow side to this card, too. It can also represent naivety, impulsiveness, and a lack of planning. If you're not careful, you could end up making some really bad decisions, Jumping into something without thinking it through, trusting the wrong people, or just being completely unprepared for the challenges ahead. But even those mistakes can be valuable learning experiences. The Fool is all about growth and evolution, and sometimes that means stumbling and falling along the way. It's like, okay, you messed up, but what did you learn from it? How can you use that experience to become a wiser, stronger person? It's about embracing the journey, even the messy parts. Think of it like this. You decide to quit your job and travel the world with your friends. Sounds amazing, right? But if you don't plan properly, you could end up broke and stranded in a foreign country. But even that experience could teach you valuable lessons about resourcefulness, resilience, and the importance of planning. Or what if you start a business with a friend without doing your research, and it ends up failing? That could be a really painful experience, but it could also teach you valuable lessons about business management, marketing, and the importance of having a solid plan. This card is all about embracing new experiences, even if they're a little scary. Maybe you've been feeling stuck in a rut lately, like you're just going through the motions. The Fool is saying, it's time to shake things up. It's time to try something new. This could be anything from taking a dance class to learning a new language to going on a solo adventure. The point is to step outside of your comfort zone and to discover new aspects of yourself. Maybe you've always wanted to be a writer, but you've been too afraid to show your work to anyone. The Fool is saying, just do it. Put yourself out there. Share your writing online, join a writing group, or even just show your work to a trusted friend. You never know what might happen. Or maybe you've always wanted to move to a new city, but you've been too afraid to leave your family and friends. The Fool is saying, take the leap. You can always come back if you don't like it. But you might just discover that you love your new city and that it's exactly where you're meant to be. Maybe you've been wanting to dye your hair purple, or get a tattoo, or start wearing clothes that express your true self. The Fool says go for it. So, how does this all tie into the Garnet cluster and harmonizing connections? I think it's about finding a balance between your adventurous spirit and your need for security in relationships. The Garnet cluster is all about bringing balance and alignment, so it's like the universe is saying, okay, go ahead and take that leap of faith, but don't forget about the people who love and support you. It's about finding a way to integrate your desire for new experiences with your need for connection and belonging. Maybe it means bringing your friends along on your adventures, or maybe it means finding new ways to connect with your loved ones even when you're far apart. The Fool energy can also be about being open to new connections and new perspectives within your existing relationships. The Garnet cluster also wants you to maintain harmony, so that means setting boundaries with loved ones, being radically honest, but also being open to compromise and new ways of connecting that bring more people into your circle. Oh my gosh, this is just so exciting. I can't wait to see what happens next. This Fool card is like a wild card. Anything could happen, and it's got me on the edge of my seat. Okay, deep breaths. What else does the universe want us to know? Get ready, because I'm pulling the next card right now. Okay, so wow, the Tower. Right after the Fool. Oh, honey, buckle up. because this is like the universe is about to throw a major plot twist into your story. So with all this talk about connection, abundance, and taking leaps of faith, the Tower is here to say, hold on a second, not so fast. This card is all about sudden and unexpected change, upheaval, and the shattering of old structures. It's like everything you thought you knew, maybe not so much anymore. I know it sounds scary, right? But trust me, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just intense. Like, think about it. You've got these beautiful friendships blooming with the Three of Cups, this amazing creative energy flowing with the Empress, and this big decision you're making with the Lovers. And then the Fool is like, let's jump into the unknown. And the Tower is like, okay, but first, let's clear out some space. It's like a cosmic demolition crew is coming in to tear down anything that's built on shaky foundations. Maybe those friendships aren't as solid as you thought, or maybe that creative project is based on an unsustainable idea. Or maybe that big decision you're making with the Lovers is actually the wrong one, and the universe is stepping in to redirect you. This card often represents a sudden crisis or unexpected event that forces you to reevaluate your life. It could be a job loss, a relationship breakup, a health scare, or even just a major change in your circumstances. Whatever it is, it's something that shakes you to your core and makes you question everything you thought you knew. It's like the rug is being pulled out from under you, and you're left feeling lost and confused. But here's the thing. The Tower is also about liberation. It's about breaking free from limiting beliefs, toxic relationships, and outdated ways of being. It's about clearing the path for something new and better to emerge. It's like the old structures have to crumble in order for you to build something stronger and more authentic. Think of a volcano. It's destructive, yes, but it also creates new land, fertile ground for new growth. Okay, so how does this connect to our tapestry theme? Well, maybe the Tower is about realizing that some of the threads in your tapestry are actually holding you back. Maybe there are people in your life who are draining your energy, or maybe there are patterns of behavior that are keeping you stuck. The Tower is saying, it's time to cut those threads. It's time to let go of what's no longer serving you, even if it's painful. This could be about ending a toxic friendship, leaving a dead-end job, or finally breaking free from a dysfunctional family dynamic. And remember the Fool. Maybe the Fool's leap of faith is actually leading you right into the Tower. Like, maybe you're so eager to embrace new experiences that you're ignoring some red flags along the way. The Tower is here to wake you up and say, hey, pay attention. Not all risks are worth taking. The Tower can also represent a sudden shift in perspective. It's like you've been seeing things one way for so long, and then suddenly the truth is revealed. Maybe you realize that you've been living a lie, or maybe you discover that someone you trusted has been betraying you. This can be a really painful experience, but it can also be incredibly liberating. It's like the blinders are finally coming off, and you're able to see things clearly for the first time. And maybe, just maybe, this Tower moment is exactly what you need to align with those choices that the Lover's card talks about. If something big is going to shake your world, wouldn't it be better to make sure you're standing on solid ground within yourself? Now, the Tower can manifest in a lot of different ways. Sometimes it's an external event, like a natural disaster or a financial crisis. But often, it's an internal experience, like a mental breakdown or a spiritual awakening. An external Tower moment might look like getting laid off from your job or having your house damaged in a storm. It's something that happens to you, something that you have little or no control over. An internal Tower moment, on the other hand, is more about a shift in your consciousness. It's about realizing that your old beliefs and values are no longer serving you, and that you need to make some major changes in your life. This might involve questioning your religion, reevaluating your career goals, or even ending a long-term relationship. The thing about internal Tower moments is that they can be just as disruptive as external ones, even though they don't always involve a dramatic event. It's like you're going through this inner turmoil, this sense of questioning everything, and it can be really unsettling. But it's also a sign that you're growing and evolving. It's a sign that you're ready to let go of the old and embrace the new. This could be a really difficult period, but it's also a really important one. It's a time to be gentle with yourself, to allow yourself to feel your feelings, and to trust that you're on the right path, even if you don't know where it's leading. So, how do you navigate the tower? How do you cope with this sudden upheaval and destruction? Well, the first thing is to remember that you're not alone. Everyone goes through tower moments in their lives. It's a universal experience. And even though it feels like the end of the world, it's not. It's just the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. The second thing is to allow yourself to feel your feelings. Don't try to suppress your emotions or pretend that everything is okay. It's okay to be angry, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be scared. Just let yourself feel what you're feeling and know that it will pass. It's like the storm is raging, but eventually it will subside. The third thing is to focus on what you can control. You can't control the external events that are happening around you, but you can control how you respond to them. You can choose to be bitter and resentful, or you can choose to be resilient and hopeful. You can choose to focus on what you've lost, or you can choose to focus on what you still have. And that garnet cluster, the harmonizing crystal, this is where it really shines. It's about finding balance and alignment even in the midst of chaos. It's about staying grounded and centered, even when everything around you is falling apart. The fourth thing is to seek support from others. Talk to your friends, your family, your therapist, or anyone who can offer you a listening ear and a helping hand. Don't try to go through this alone. Remember those friendships from the Three of Cups. Now is the time to lean on them. And finally, remember that the tower is ultimately about growth and transformation. It's about breaking free from the old and embracing the new. It's about becoming a stronger, more authentic version of yourself. So, even though it feels like you're being destroyed, you're actually being rebuilt. You're being forged in the fires of transformation. Okay, wow, that was intense. I need a moment to breathe. But seriously, this reading is just getting more and more fascinating. I have no idea what's coming next, but I'm so excited to find out. Are you ready? Okay, here we go, pulling the final card right now. Okay, oh my gosh, oh wow. So after the tower, after all that shaking up, we get Judgment. Can you believe it? Judgment. Wow, like okay, so we had the Three of Cups all about, connection and friendship and celebration. And then the Empress, that's all about abundance, nurturing, creation. The Lovers. Big choices, big partnerships. Then the Fool jumps in, just like, let's go, new beginnings. And then bam, the tower hits. And now Judgment. Okay, so Judgment, first and foremost, is about awakening, rebirth, and a major life review. It's about like a cosmic call to action, a spiritual alarm clock going off, saying, hey, it's time to wake up and see your life for what it really is. It's a time of reckoning, but not in a scary, doom and gloom way, more like, okay, time to take stock. Time to see what's working, what's not, and what needs to change. This card is seriously about assessing where you've been, what you've learned, and where you're headed. It's like the universe is giving you a chance to, rise from the ashes and become a more authentic version of yourself. I'm getting, a phoenix vibe here. You're being called to really evaluate your past choices, your past actions, and to understand the impact they've had on your life and the lives of others. It's about taking responsibility, not in a shamming way, but in a powerful, empowering way. Okay, I did that, I own it. Now what can I learn from it? How can I move forward? This card is really about forgiveness too. Forgiving yourself and forgiving others for past mistakes. Holding on to grudges or resentment is just going to hold you back from stepping into your full potential. It's about releasing that baggage and moving forward with a clean slate, a lighter heart. It's about understanding that everyone makes mistakes, everyone screws up, and it's okay. The important thing is to learn from those experiences and to grow from them. Judgment is often about a major turning point, a significant shift in your perspective. It's like you've been seeing things one way for so long, and then suddenly, bam, you see things in a whole new light. This can be triggered by a specific event, like the tower experience we just talked about, or it can be a more gradual process of awakening. But either way, it's a profound and transformative experience. It's like you're finally seeing the bigger picture, you're understanding your purpose, and you're ready to step into your destiny. It's not just about seeing things differently, but about feeling differently. Like, a deep sense of knowing, of clarity, of purpose. Okay, so, how does judgment tie into all the cards we pulled before? I think it's all about bringing clarity to those connections from the Three of Cups. Like, after the Tower experience, you might be seeing your friendships in a whole new light. You might be realizing which friendships are truly supportive and which ones are actually draining your energy. Judgment is asking you to, really evaluate those relationships and to make conscious choices about who you want to surround yourself with moving forward. It's about choosing quality over quantity and about investing your time and energy in the people who truly lift you up and support your growth. And remember the Empress, all that creative energy. Well, judgment might be asking you to, reevaluate your creative path. Is this really what you're meant to be doing? Is this truly aligned with your soul's purpose? Maybe you need to make some changes. Maybe you need to shift your focus. Or maybe you just need to approach your creative work with a new perspective. Maybe you've been so focused on the end result that you've forgotten to enjoy the process. Judgment is reminding you to connect with the joy of creation and to trust that the universe will guide you on your path. What about the Lovers with that big decision? Judgment is saying it's time to really understand the why behind that decision. After the Tower shook things up, has that decision changed? Do you still feel aligned with that choice? Maybe you need to make a new decision based on your newfound clarity. Or maybe you just need to reaffirm your commitment to the original choice. The Lovers card is about partnership, too, so maybe judgment is about evaluating your relationships with others, both romantic and platonic. Are these relationships truly serving your highest good? Are they based on mutual respect, honesty, and support? It's about recognizing the patterns of your relationships and making conscious choices about how you want to interact with others moving forward. Judgment's asking you to step up. And the Fool. Oh man, the Fool and Judgment. That's a wild combo. It's like the Fool jumps into the unknown with blind faith, and then Judgment comes along and says, okay, let's take a look at what happened there. What did we learn from that experience? Was that a wise choice, or did we just learn a valuable lesson? It's about integrating the lessons from your past adventures and using them to inform your future decisions. It's about finding a balance between spontaneity and wisdom, between risk-taking and responsibility. The Fool can be a little impulsive, right? Judgment says it's time to bring in some discernment, to temper the impulsivity with a good dose of self-awareness and understanding. It's like the Fool is saying, yeah, jump, and Judgment is saying, okay, but look before you leap. And then the Tower. Well, the Tower and Judgment are like two sides of the same coin. The Tower tears down the old, and Judgment helps you rebuild. The Tower is chaotic and disruptive, while Judgment brings clarity and understanding. The Tower can feel like a crisis, while Judgment feels like a resolution. It's like the Tower is the wake-up call, and Judgment is the snooze button that gives you a chance to actually get up. Practically speaking, this Judgment card is asking you to take some serious time for self-reflection. Get quiet, get still, and really listen to your inner voice. What is your intuition telling you? What are your dreams trying to reveal? What are the patterns in your life that you need to address? Try journaling, meditation, or spending time in nature. Anything that helps you connect with your inner self and to quiet the noise of the outside world. Ask yourself some tough questions. What are you truly passionate about? What are your values? What are your goals? Are you living in alignment with your truth? Are you making choices that support your well-being? Don't be afraid to dig deep and to confront uncomfortable truths. The more honest you are with yourself, the clearer your path will become. Look at your relationships. Are you surrounding yourself with people who lift you up or people who bring you down? Are you giving as much as you're receiving? Are you being honest and authentic in your interactions? Cut ties with toxic relationships and invest in the ones that truly matter. Review your career. Are you feeling fulfilled in your work? Are you using your talents and skills to their fullest potential? Are you making a positive impact on the world? If not, what changes can you make? Consider your finances. Are you managing your money wisely? Are you living within your means? Are you saving for the future? If not, it's time to get your financial house in order. Look at your health. Are you taking care of your body, mind, and spirit? Are you eating healthy, exercising regularly, and getting enough sleep? Are you managing your stress levels? If not, it's time to prioritize your well-being. This is all part of your tapestry. These are the threads that weave together to make you. And remember our Garnet cluster theme? Harmonizing connections. Judgment is about harmonizing your inner world with your outer world. It's about aligning your actions with your values and creating a life that is authentic and true to yourself. And it's about harmonizing your connections with others. This is a time to seek harmony in your relationships and to create deeper, more meaningful connections. The Garnet cluster is all about balance, so how can you create more balance in your life? How can you find a way to integrate all the different parts of yourself into a cohesive whole? Judgment is an invitation to step into your power, to embrace your destiny, and to live a life that is filled with purpose, passion, and joy. Wow, okay, Judgment. What a card. It's like the universe is saying, okay, time to get serious. Time to step up and become the person you were always meant to be. I am so excited to see what happens next. This reading has been such a wild ride so far, and I can't wait to see where it leads. Okay, deep breaths, get ready, because I am pulling the final card right now. Okay, oh my goodness, wow, after all of that. We get the devil. Oh honey, this just got interesting. This is like the ultimate curveball. So we've got the Three of Cups with all its friendship and celebration, the Empress overflowing with abundance, the Lovers making big choices, the Fool taking a huge leap, the Tower crumbling everything, and Judgment calling you to awaken. And now the Devil walks in. So the Devil card, at its core, is about feeling trapped, right? It's about being bound by something, whether it's material possessions, unhealthy habits, limiting beliefs, or even toxic relationships. It's that feeling of being chained to something you know isn't good for you, but you just can't seem to break free. It's all about those sneaky little temptations that whisper in your ear and lure you off your path, promising pleasure and satisfaction, but ultimately leaving you feeling empty and, well, enslaved. It's also a card about materialism, about valuing the superficial over the authentic, about getting caught up in the pursuit of wealth and status. Okay, so, how does this energy mess with our tapestry of connection? Remember the Three of Cups, all those beautiful friendships. Well, the Devil might be whispering, are those friendships really genuine? Or are you just hanging out with these people because of what they can do for you? Are you secretly competing with them? Are you feeling pressured to keep up with their lifestyles? Maybe there's a bit of envy creeping in. Or maybe you're feeling obligated to maintain these friendships even though they're not truly fulfilling. This card makes me think of those friendships where you always feel like you have to put on a show, where you're constantly comparing yourself to others, where you never feel like you can truly be yourself. Maybe there's some gossip or backstabbing happening, some hidden agendas that are undermining the genuine connection. That's the worst. And what about the Empress? All that glorious abundance. The Devil could be twisting that into, pure materialism, right? You need more money, more stuff, more status. You'll never be happy until you have everything. It's like that constant craving for the next shiny object, the endless cycle of wanting and acquiring. The Empress is about nurturing yourself, but the Devil might be whispering that self-care means expensive spa treatments and designer clothes. It's about instant gratification, about filling that inner void with external things, rather than cultivating true inner peace and contentment. Then there's the Lovers, with that big, life-altering decision looming. The Devil might be trying to cloud your judgment, making you choose the option that offers the most immediate reward, even if it's not aligned with your true values. Choose the job that pays the most, even if it makes you miserable. Stay in the relationship because it's comfortable, even if it's not fulfilling. It's about being seduced by the illusion of security and control, about sacrificing your long-term happiness for short-term gain. That choice, that fork in the road. The Devil might be trying to steer you down the wrong path, honey. Oh no. And the Fool, leaping into the unknown with reckless abandon. Oh honey, the Devil might be waiting at the bottom of that cliff with a big awl net. Is that leap of faith really about freedom, or is it just another form of escapism? Are you running towards something or running away from something? The devil might be whispering, "Go ahead, indulge in that risky behavior. It'll make you feel alive. Forget about the consequences." It's about being blinded by the thrill of the moment, about ignoring the potential dangers and pitfalls. This card could also be about naivety, about trusting the wrong people, about being easily manipulated. The fool, bless his heart, might be walking right into a trap. Okay, but what about the tower? After all that destruction and chaos, the devil might be saying, "See, I told you so. Everything is falling apart. You're better off just clinging to what you know, even if it's miserable." The devil might be trying to convince you that the tower experience was a punishment, a sign that you're not worthy of happiness or success. It's about reinforcing those limiting beliefs, about keeping you stuck in a cycle of fear and self-doubt. The devil wants you to believe that you're powerless, that you can't change your circumstances, that you're doomed to repeat the same mistakes over and over again. Or maybe the tower wasn't actually a moment of liberation. Maybe it was just a different kind of trap. Maybe you thought you were breaking free, but you just ended up exchanging one set of chains for another. Maybe that sudden change actually led you straight into a deeper, more insidious form of bondage. Like the tower crumbled, you escaped. Right into the devil's lair. Yikes! And then there's judgment, that call to awaken and take responsibility. Is that awakening even real, or is it just another illusion orchestrated by the devil? Is that newfound clarity just a clever disguise, a way to keep you complacent and controlled? The devil might be whispering, "You're not worthy of forgiveness. You're destined to repeat your mistakes. Just give up." It's about undermining your self-esteem, about convincing you that you're not capable of change, that you're forever bound to your past. This card is just a reminder that we're all human, that we're all flawed, and that the journey towards enlightenment is a long and winding road. But here's the thing, the devil isn't all bad. It can also be a wake-up call. It can show you what's holding you back, what patterns you need to break, what limiting beliefs you need to challenge. It's like, okay, you're feeling trapped. Well, what are you going to do about it? The devil can be a catalyst for change, a motivator to break free from those chains and reclaim your power. The Garnet cluster. Harmonizing connections. This is about finding the healthy connections, the ones that lift you up, not drag you down. The key is awareness. Recognizing those temptations, those unhealthy patterns, those limiting beliefs. Once you're aware of them, you can start to challenge them, to break free from their grip. It's about taking responsibility for your own choices, about setting healthy boundaries, about surrounding yourself with people who support your growth. It's about recognizing those sneaky little devil whispers and saying, "Nope, I'm not falling for that." The devil is asking you to face your shadow side, to acknowledge your weaknesses, and to embrace your imperfections. It's about accepting yourself, flaws and all, and using that self-awareness to create a more fulfilling and authentic life. The devil is all about power, but it's about your power. This could be about reclaiming your personal power, about recognizing your own strength and resilience. It's about choosing to break free from the chains that bind you, to embrace your true potential, and to live a life that is aligned with your highest self. Okay, wow, that was a lot. But I'm so excited about this reading. It's getting so juicy and complex. And this Garnet cluster wants you to find balance, wants you to see where these connections are not serving you so you can find a harmonious balance. I don't know what's coming next, but I have a feeling it's going to be mind-blowing. Ready to pull the next card? Okay, so wow, what a journey, right? We started with the Three of Cups, celebrating connections and friendships, then moved into the Empress, all about abundance and creation. And then the Lovers came along, presenting us with some big choices. The Fool urged us to take a leap of faith, and then the Tower shook everything up, and Judgment called us to awaken. And then, just when we thought we were getting somewhere, the Devil showed up, tempting us with illusions and traps. And now, the final card. The Seven of Swords. Oh, honey, this card is sneaky. It's about deception, betrayal, and getting away with something. Or trying to, anyway. This isn't always about someone else betraying you, you know? Sometimes it's about betraying yourself. It's about those little white lies we tell ourselves, those compromises we make that chip away at our integrity. It's about cutting corners, taking the easy way out, even if it means hurting someone else. Or yourself. So, what does this mean for you? Well, first of all, don't panic. The Seven of Swords isn't always a sign of doom and gloom. Sometimes it's just a gentle nudge to be more aware of what's going on around you. It's about being discerning, about trusting your gut, and about not being afraid to ask questions. It's like, if something feels too good to be true, it probably is, you know. It could be that someone in your life isn't being completely honest with you. Maybe they're hiding something, or maybe they're just not being upfront about their intentions. This could be a friend, a family member, a coworker, or even a romantic partner. Think about your relationships. Is there anyone who seems a little off? Anyone who's been acting shady or secretive lately? Anyone who's been making promises they can't keep? Pay attention to those red flags, honey. Don't ignore your intuition. If something feels wrong, it probably is. But it's important not to jump to conclusions, okay? The Seven of Swords is about deception, but it's not always about malice. Sometimes people lie because they're afraid of the truth, or because they don't want to hurt you. Try to approach the situation with compassion and understanding, but don't let yourself be taken advantage of. Set clear boundaries and be firm about what you will and will not tolerate. Now, let's talk about the possibility that you might be the one doing the deceiving. I know, it's not a comfortable thought, but it's important to be honest with yourself. Are you being completely truthful in your relationships? Are you keeping any secrets from your loved ones? Are you making compromises that go against your values? The Seven of Swords is often a sign that you're not being true to yourself, that you're trying to get away with something, even if it's just a little white lie. Maybe you're telling your friends you're happy when you're really not. Maybe you're pretending to be someone you're not in order to fit in. Maybe you're avoiding a difficult conversation because you're afraid of the consequences. It's time to be honest with yourself, honey. What are you hiding from? What are you afraid of? What do you need to let go of in order to be true to yourself? Remember that Garnet cluster and harmonizing connections. It wants you to be honest with yourself first, so you can find harmony with others. This card can also indicate intellectual theft, like someone is stealing your ideas at work, so you might want to protect your intellectual property and document your efforts. Okay, so, how does the Seven of Swords connect to the other cards we pulled? Well, remember the Three of Cups. All those beautiful friendships. The Seven of Swords might be warning you that someone in your friend group isn't being completely honest. Maybe there's some gossip or backstabbing going on behind your back, or maybe someone is secretly competing with you. It's important to be discerning about who you trust and to protect yourself from any potential betrayal. Maybe someone is stealing your friends or excluding you from events. This card wants you to be aware of possible backstabbers in your group. Be cautious about the information you share, and notice if they are pumping you for information for their own gain. And what about the Empress, with all that abundance and creativity? The Seven of Swords might be suggesting that you're not being completely honest with yourself about your creative pursuits. Are you truly passionate about what you're doing, or are you just trying to impress others? Are you taking shortcuts or stealing ideas from other artists? It's important to be authentic in your creative expression and to honor your own unique voice. Maybe you feel like you have to trick people to buy your art. This card is asking you to have integrity in your work and be confident in your own gifts and passions. Then there's the Lovers, with that big decision looming. The Seven of Swords might be warning you that you're not seeing the full picture, that you're missing some crucial information. Maybe someone is trying to manipulate you into making a decision that benefits them, not you. It's important to do your research, to ask questions, and to trust your intuition before making any major commitments. Someone may be stealing from your relationship partner or trying to trick you into making the wrong decision. This card asks you to fully investigate what is in front of you before moving forward. And the Fool, leaping into the unknown. The Seven of Swords might be suggesting that you're being a little too reckless, that you're not thinking things through carefully enough. Maybe you're trusting the wrong people, or maybe you're ignoring some red flags along the way. It's important to be cautious and to protect yourself from any potential scams or deceptions. Someone might be trying to take advantage of your trusting nature, so use some caution and make sure to fully check out the person's motivations. After the Tower experience, with all that destruction and chaos, the Seven of Swords might be tempting you to take the easy way out, to cut corners in order to rebuild your life. Maybe you're considering doing something unethical or dishonest in order to get ahead. It's important to resist that temptation and to stay true to your values, even when it's difficult. You want to have honesty and integrity, and be able to say that you built your new life honestly. And after Judgment, with that call to awaken and take responsibility, the Seven of Swords might be suggesting that you're still not being completely honest with yourself about your past mistakes. Maybe you're trying to minimize your role in a situation, or maybe you're blaming others for your problems. It's important to take full responsibility for your actions and to learn from your experiences. And then, the Devil. Oh boy, the Devil and the Seven of Swords together. That's like a double dose of deception and manipulation. This could mean you are in a situation that is totally based on lies, or that you have lost track of the truth. It wants you to break free from the chains that are binding you, reclaim your power, and create a life that is aligned with your highest self. So, what can you do to navigate this Seven of Swords energy? How can you protect yourself from deception and betrayal? First and foremost, trust your intuition. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Don't ignore those red flags. Pay attention to the details. Do your research. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to challenge authority or to speak up when you see something that doesn't feel right. Set clear boundaries. Be firm about what you will and will not tolerate. Protect your energy. Don't let other people drain you or manipulate you. Surround yourself with people who are honest, supportive, and trustworthy. Be honest with yourself. What are you hiding from? What are you afraid of? What do you need to let go of in order to be true to yourself? Forgive yourself and others. Holding on to grudges or resentment will only hold you back. Remember, honey, the Seven of Swords isn't about fear. It's about awareness. It's about empowering yourself with knowledge and understanding. It's about taking control of your life and creating a future that is based on honesty, integrity, and authenticity. You are strong, you are resilient, and you are capable of overcoming any challenge. This Garnet cluster is all about harmonizing connections, and that starts with being honest with yourself. You've got this.